Cheers.
Cheers.
Episode
183.
183, Evan, is all on it. Look at this can. Cerveza del Rey.
Cerveza.
What does it
That's how you
taste
say
like?
that.
Tastes like Corona.
Ugh. Pass.
Come on.
Hey,
no
Grant,
glass.
everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
With a little lime. It could use a lime.
Got some new pens.
Lime or orange slice?
Lime.
That looks like it could put an orange slice in it.
You could do both. The Sharpies, I used to write with those. Did you steal that from me when we lived together?
Yeah, I stole a whole box.
You might have. That's what they looked like.
Yeah, I would just have a box of them that I just opened.
What millimeter are they? 0.7, 0.5? 1?
0.7.
That's a good middle ground. 0.5
I
a little
like
thin
them.
for my
I
liking.
thought they would be better, but they're not really jelly.
Water for you both?
Yeah.
Tiger's mug for Evan. For
Water
those,
with
There's
Mio.
half for Evan.
just listening. What kind of Mio? I got some water with Mio over here as well to
Same
hydrate.
as last week, I think. Strawberry pineapple.
I think mine is like a blueberry and lemon. I mix it.
Mine has electrolytes and I think caffeine kick to it. I think that's what.
Ooh, the B vitamin ones.
I don't know. What's advertised on it. I grabbed it.
Tonight is Monday, September 23rd, 8:32 p.m. Eastern, 7:32 p.m. Central. We have
Happy
two.
fall.
Let Evan be the first to wish you a happy fall. Was the first day on Sunday?
I think so.
No, last day of summer was. Oh, yeah, baby.
Which is also the first day of fall.
No, last day of summer is not the first day of fall. That's not how that works.
Yes.
What? The
It has
last
to
day
be.
of summer, and then the next day is the first day of fall.
No, they end and start at the same time.
No,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
The last
Why
day
would they
of-
do that?
The last day of summer also leads into the first day of fall.
Yes. It's all on September 22nd is the magical day. The autumnal equinox.
There we go.
That's dumb, whoever came up with that.
Well, actually, the end of summer is Labor Day, but officially on the calendar, you've never liked
The end
that
of summer
out.
is
No,
July 5th.
No, that's
Whoa.
insane.
That's way too early.
Maybe in Texas.
Summer just started here.
Does it feel like fall for you,
Summer just
Alex?
started there. Shut your
It's
mouth.
92 and
Texas
sunny every day. It
Longhorns
does
are
not,
4-0.
does not feel like fall. No, there is no fall here. There's no season.
Group chat debate. Would you rather have Texas or Tennessee host the night game on October 19th?
What?
October 19th.
So October 19th is going to be a behemoth day of college football. Just two big games. Well, besides Michigan, Illinois. But Georgia is
Does
at
Michigan-
Texas.
Hold on. Does Michigan State have a bye week or not?
No
No.
clue.
We
I don't know the
because
bye
we have
weeks
a bye
off the-
week the week before.
So we play Iowa that game.
Yeah, that's America's game of the week.
So I really
Whoever
don't
you play,
care.
whoever
Whatever
you play
time Michigan State is playing, I don't care. Whoever it is.
it'd be the week before you play Michigan, if that's Iowa.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying whoever plays at the same time as Michigan State, I don't care about that game because I'll be fully invested in Michigan State.
You could be. You probably will at least should do double box, Evan.
No.
You can't double box a Michigan State football game. You're not going to double box a Michigan game. So let's not kid
I'm not
ourselves
double
here.
boxing a Michigan State important game.
I would absolutely double box for these two games.
I would
the Prairie
double
View
box Prairie View. I'm not double boxing a meaningful game that we need to win.
Well, then we're different fans. I would double box.
Michigan
for sure.
USC was on your big TV the entire time.
That was the game of the day at that time. There was nothing else on.
So
Well, Utah,
You-
Oklahoma State.
listen,
I
everyone's
didn't
entitled.
watch a minute of that game.
But
didn't either.
that's all
That game
perspective,
stunk.
man. It's all opinion based. That was two
Michigan
ranked
had my
games.
full attention the
ranked
entire
teams.
time. I think it's weird that you wouldn't have your team full screen for a reasonably big game. But you're entitled to your own opinion.
I can-
But I think
I'll
most
give you the-
people would be on Evan and I's side.
For Michigan plays Illinois that day, which will probably be the big noon kickoff, if not the 3:30 CBS.
Why
But-
don't you think Michigan State Iowa could have that slot?
Well, I'll probably have the other, whatever the other is.
No,
Whatever.
okay.
I don't know how the draft works for
We'll get-
October 19th.
We'll get
CBS is
Peacock
last.
at 3:30 again.
Either way, guys, Georgia, the number 2 team in the country, plays number 1 Texas that day.
For example, before you continue,
I was okay. We'll
I
never
might still
find
be
out the other
hungover
game.
from the weekend before.
Michigan State,
might
Ohio
not even be
State
awake
this
for 'em.
weekend is during Georgia, Alabama, I'm going to have Michigan. Well, also we're on Peacock, so we don't really have a choice. So that's going to be
Yeah,
full
we can't
screen
quad
on
box
TV.
it. We can't do anything.
So my Georgia, Alabama will be on my laptop, if that makes you feel better.
Is it like TV here, laptop right under the eyesight? It can't be
No,
off to
it's
the
like
side. It's got to be right there.
TV mounted on the wall, my laptop in my lap.
That's fine then. That's basically 2 solo screens. I think that's a fine setup. Evan, we're going to be so hungover from the week before. Oh, LSU.
I think you're going to be there with me, so
Right.
We're all going to still be hungover on that day.
Alex said he's not drinking the whole trip.
Correct. I give up drinking.
Yeah, he changed. Texas changed him.
Congrats, man. You can drive us around then.
I mean, I'm not. I'm not driving on Saturday at LSU.
So. If you're not drinking, you might as well.
No.
What about a scooter?
Nope.
Or a bike?
No.
So Georgia plays Texas, 2 versus 1, and Alabama plays Tennessee at Tennessee and
4 versus 6.
Well, as right now.
What should the night game be? I'm on Team Cody with the C because I agreed with his.
I didn't see this message.
Was it earlier in the day?
Texas.
Yeah, I'm on the Tennessee side. I
Texas
think that's a better night game.
Night games. Tennessee had like 4 night games to start the year. They wore their black uniforms.
Tennessee's
for the
a better
game of the year.
stadium for a night game.
Says who?
I think Texas' stadium. I've not been there. Alex knows people now, but I feel like their stadium looks super overrated on TV.
It's probably comparable to the Outhouse.
$200 million into renovating it.
It looks very corporate.
That's how all stadiums are going to look here in the future.
No, don't tell me that.
Luxury boxes. Yes.
No.
That's how they're all going to look.
Don't tell me that.
That's how all of them are going to look.
In college too, you think?
Yes.
My God, they can't take that away from us. Then Spartan Stadium will go up the rankings if they can hold off and not renovate it.
They'll never
those
renovate
stadiums will get perfect.
The Tross will live on forever.
Yes. Anyways, that was just my brain looking ahead to October 19th because I was like, wow, that is going to be quite the little 1-2 punch there for SEC football. On this show, we'll get into the newly acclaimed segment, Pookies and Dookies of the Week, as well as a quick Tigers playoff update. And we have the usual Michigan State, Michigan, Lions recaps. But before we get into all that, as always, Alex, I feel like the spirits are down for you right now.
Had a long day.
Sorry to hear that.
I'll be fully honest, Alex. Your vibes suck.
Thanks.
You ran. You sent a lot of in your leg sleeves.
I ran Saturday and Sunday. I did not wear leg sleeves.
And your yoga pants.
Meant to ask you how is the? This is a good segue.
Not a
how
leg
is the
sleeve.
It's a
Why do
Ironman
people
training
think it's a
going?
leg sleeve? Ironman? I'm not familiar.
How's the training going for that?
For what?
The Ironman.
God, sometimes I think my friends do listen to me, and then I realize they don't.
What is training?
The triathlon training is going okay.
That's what an Ironman is. Spare me.
It's not the same.
What?
It's not the same. But anyways, how's it going?
It's a long distance triathlon.
I'm not doing a 50-mile run, a 200-mile bike, and something else.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
An Olympic triathlon.
What is that?
Google it. That's what your fingers are for.
Oh, please. You are testy today. You don't know your miles?
Holy shit.
I do know what it is. I've said it to you on the show.
God damn.
Well, Evan, you just told me my vibes are dog shit like about 3 seconds ago. So you pissed in my cereal.
It's not even that different. We're talking about adding a couple miles on to each side.
A couple?
A few.
Are you kidding me?
A couple here and there. It's like a rounding error.
How's it going? Running also got last week was bad. Didn't do anything until Saturday. Ran Saturday and Sunday.
How many miles?
I did 5 each day.
It's 10 total. Wow.
Woke up Sunday morning, my body hurt really bad, and I was like, my feet hurt. Felt like my foot was broken, but I was like, you know what? Just got to do it. So did it. So yeah, biking. I still got to get a bike. So right now we're just stationary bike at the gym. So it's hard to really,
Alex, I feel like you would really benefit from ice baths.
Yeah.
Cold plunges.
Fun fact: I tried to do an an at-home ice bath because I was like, you know what, this would probably be good for me. So I took my
body's
freezer.
You need it.
I don't know what that means. Like my body is in a lot better shape than it used to be.
I'm not saying that you're not in shape, but your muscles and your knees, it sounds like it could use it for your recovery process.
Yeah, no, I agree. My knees have been better pain wise than last year. I think living in Michigan in the cold really just makes your joints 10 times worse. So my joints feel a little better now. But ice bath, try to do a DIY, do it yourself. Filled up. So I've talked about my hot water situation, how hot my water is. Bathroom water, not my sink. My sink is cold.
Interesting.
It's like room temperature. So my bath water or shower water is 200 degrees at all times, even at the lowest setting. It's it just burns your skin off.
That happens in hot weather places.
Yeah, pipes are warm. So filled it up, and I was like, all right, I'll just leave it for a while. So hopefully it cools down, right? Who knows? And then I took my little ice maker box. It's filled with ice. It was full. Dumped it in the tub. I was like, oh, that's gotta definitely make it cold. I was like, I'll let it sit for a few, probably 2 minutes or so. Also, keep my apartment at 67, so it's just cold in there. Should be cold. Should be cold.
Mm-hmm.
Get in this thing. It's just hot. Just full hot. Just got in hot. I'm so now I'm just taking a gross hot bath that I don't want to do.
In your filth.
Steamy.
And I was
just room temp bath.
Just stood up, emptied the bath, and took a shower. I'm like, this is so stupid. So ice bath DIY failed. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm open to it. I feel like I have to go to the grocery store and buy 7 bags of ice and use that to do it, which is just so ridiculous because you can only do it once and then the ice is all going to be gone. And then what?
What about
I feel like one big bag of ice would definitely cool it down. If you need to prep it before you leave, fill up the bath of just the water, let it sit there, and then dump the ice right before you get in.
Get in the tub with the ice bag in my hands, and then just break it apart as I get in.
Yes, put it down your pants.
I think you need to fill up the tub before you leave. That way it sits there for a while, more than a couple minutes.
Or move back home.
Or just move back home.
No.
Or go outside and fill up a trash can with tap water.
It's hot outside, Evan.
Doesn't mean the water's going to be hot.
It's 90 degrees. It's going to be warm.
Probably, yeah. If it's 90,
straight off
probably.
The faucet.
Sounds like everything's hot in Texas.
Yeah, that's what everyone here complains about.
Okay, maybe we skip ice. We don't do ice baths, but you invest in those big black compression things that people sit in that look like jumbo blow-up pants.
Compression sleeve things.
Yeah, you just sit in your chair or your couch on Saturday and Sunday and just wear those all day.
That can't be good to wear them all day long. What do they do?
Compress. What does that do for you? I don't know. That's a question for resident therapist Evan.
Are those doing anything for you?
Are those a scam? Are those fighting necklaces or
the compression? They fight necklaces. The compression things actually work really well.
Okay.
Should I just get a tub, put it in my living room, and just have it filled with cold water at all times? And just leave it there, and then if anyone comes over, be like, "Oh yeah, that's my ice bathtub."
You want to get in my jacuzzi?
You want to hop in? Not sure how I would empty it.
Never.
We need a funnel system to the porch. And just dump down 4 floors to the ground.
You just slowly drain it over your kitchen sink when it's time.
How am I going to pick this thing up?
Part of your training.
Pick up a full tub of water.
Part of your training.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's like flipping a tire.
I'd break my back.
Part of your training. That's awesome.
All right, so working through that. Anything else?
A golf league Thursday, I guess.
How'd it go?
We shot 9 under on 9 holes.
You shot 9 under on our holes.
Yeah.
You did.
I said we did.
Oh. Good for you guys.
Wow. I've won longest drive every week. Won again.
Who's your new best friend that you play with?
Don't have a new best friend. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I've played with the same people since I got here.
Rory McIlroy. Is it a new league? Because you guys won the one last year.
It's the same league. There's a couple new teams, but
Is it a 6 month long? Like how many months is it once it resets?
I think it's only like I think it ends like end of October. It's like 3 months.
Oh.
And then
So you
there's
could
like
win
a
this
2 month
league.
off, and then there's a spring league too.
So you could win the league twice in 1 year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Should. We're in first by a lot.
Not a big deal. How many points?
It's just your combined strokes, and we've shot 9 under, 9 under.
How many weeks
7
left?
under.
Probably about
4,
5. But you're gonna miss the LSU one, so they're gonna miss you.
It's championship week.
No, I thought it was. I think the championship's the following week.
Thank God.
You'll be at the
I
Iowa
missed
game.
over.
I missed the last championship.
Yeah, you're gonna be at the Iowa game. Homecoming. Not homecoming.
Back-to-back
hiring you
weeks,
at halftime.
getting on a plane. I don't know about that.
Evan, middle school football has begun.
Middle school football has begun. I'm 1-1 record-wise on the year.
The road to 120.
The road to 120 is now at, I can't do math, 94. That sounds right.
Yeah. That'd be 26. No.
84.
Yeah, that'd be 26. So you're at 84 because you have 36.
84 left in 10 games. So now it's
So-
8.4 points per game.
Wait, 9 games. No, wait, there's 12 games?
There's 12, and there's 10 because
No,
there's
there's
5
10,
games
okay.
left.
All right.
Now it's 8.4 points per game.
That is a huge dent,
It's just one touchdown. One touchdown, 2-point conversion, boom.
which you have to go for.
Absolutely. That happened on Tuesday. It was fun. Good, decent games. 7th grade won, 8th grade lost. My 8th grade game, I felt like it was closer than what it actually is. We played pretty well offensively. Just stupid ass mistakes. Like a bad snap over the head, couple false starts, couple penalties, push everybody back. But I mean, we scored 16 points, which is like a miracle the first game.
Well, not with you.
Correct.
That's your team.
Game tomorrow on the road. Hour and 15-minute bus ride.
Oh my God. To where? Oh, Pinckney?
Oh my God, you butcher that like I butcher names. Pinckney.
What's the spread?
Pink knee.
Pink knees.
I
I
My
said
think
it's
knees
it's
are
line
pink.
at Pinckney minus 3.5 because they're home
I
and
think
you have to
7th
travel.
grade. I think 7th grade Tecumseh's favored by 4.5, and I think
Okay.
8th grade Pinckney's only favored by 1.5.
Okay.
I'll take action if anyone wants to take bets. I'll just be the bookie. Is an hour 15 bus ride for middle schoolers kind of like a West Coast team flying to the East
I
Coast?
think so. I think
I
it's
think
It's a
so.
long. It's a
the
long
first
bus
time that
ride.
they have to travel for a middle school sport that they're like, oh my God, are we there yet? Like
Then
you
they
never
all
know.
have
You
to
never know
play
what's going to
now?
happen on that bus ride. You never know.
No. Do they talk about girls at that age? Is that when you start talking about girls?
Half of them have girlfriends.
Oh.
We were 7th and 8th graders too. Do you not forget?
That was all about ball.
You had a girlfriend.
That was about ball.
No, you had a girlfriend.
Hour 15, you get off the bus, and then coach is like, you have 15 minutes to stretch, and then we're going live.
Change.
I got into a shouting match, a screaming match last Tuesday with the Bedford's head coach after
Really?
the 8th grade
Good.
game. Yeah,
That's
Fine
good.
to be on the record.
absolutely. You can put it on record. I could care less. This guy was a you-know-what, POS.
Bad guy.
Okay, so there is a
Meanie pants.
common courtesy for middle school sports. Like, hey, you're kicking the crap out of us. We can't stop you. We have our 2 and 3s in. Like, you put your 2 and 3s in.
Mm-hmm.
They had their starting fullback in, just giving him the ball, just 10 yards every single handoff. Just right up the gut.
You had Tyler in, and they put in Max Bredesen. No, it wasn't fair.
Yes.
He's a good
deserve
offensive
that.
lineman.
Sure.
Snap the ball well.
So scored.
God,
They scored with, I don't freaking know, 6 seconds left in the game.
They ran it up like James Franklin.
Yes. They scored. And I am screaming across the field at him. Just screaming at him.
What exactly are you yelling?
Well, first, before he even scored, I am screaming at him that he should be taking a knee. Like, how about taking a knee? Like, what are you doing? Just screaming at him.
I cannot picture this.
So this dude doesn't take a knee, and then at the 2-point conversion, he takes a knee.
Okay.
And then they kick off. We have to kick off or whatever. I just tell my kid to take a knee. As soon as the ball is set, clock's winding. Don't even run out there. Don't even run our offense out there. We're in the handshake lines. All the coaches are just shake their hands, looking away, shake their hands, look away. And then this stupid, you know what? Guys, I apologize. That's on me. I was unaware. I didn't know.
Didn't know what?
Exactly.
The clock was running
He didn't
down?
know the situation. No shit. And I basically just said bullshit.
Dang, at least he apologized to him.
No, that apology didn't mean anything.
Do you think maybe you got a little too worked up? I'm surprised that this rattled you so bad. Were you having a bad day?
Alex
Did
is
someone piss in your
no.
Cheerios that morning?
No, I had a
What
great day
was the
last
score?
Tuesday. 30. It happened to be 34, 36 to 16.
Yeah, it's the last
We were
drive.
up 12, and then they scored, and then they had the ball again. They didn't need to score. That's all I'm saying. They had the ball.
Yeah.
Do you think your emotions got the best of you?
No. I didn't
All right.
hit him. I didn't swing at him. I basically just told him he's a POS. That's all I told him. And I was like, shut
What
up.
if he
Your apology doesn't
genuinely
mean
didn't
anything.
know?
Then he should be
But-
coaching middle school football if you don't look at the clock and don't understand the situation.
Yeah, everyone
Alex,
knows the
this is
score.
how I felt. I do not care if he had his 2s and 3s in. And little Billy Joe, who never is going to get a handoff for the rest of the year, scores his
Billy
first
Joe.
touchdown of his career. Fine. So what?
Woo!
But when you're starting, like, basically half your starting offensive line, your starting running backs are still in, and you're feeding them the ball, yeah, that's a problem.
Maybe he thought the game wasn't in hand. Your
Alex,
offense
that's like-
was so high powered.
Alex, this is
that-
like us up by like
Alex.
45 in middle school football, and we're still handing the ball off to Wyatt and watching him
Yeah.
run up and down the field for 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, that's
And then
upsetting.
Dave Wiskowski
I can
looking and
picture
telling
it.
the other team, like, I don't know what time it is on the clock.
In the
Other
back.
than that, this weekend I kind of just hung out at the same house, family friend's house, super close friend's house. Saturday and Sunday, just an all day.
Super close friend's house.
Yeah,
Super hot fire.
like was there all day Saturday, just college football buffet, and then Sunday pro football buffet, and Tigers.
Back.
Watch the Tigers on Sunday.
Which you hate
Back-to-back
pro
buffet.
football. Don't forget.
I do. I just
How do you feel about pro football
don't
this year?
find it interesting. Just the games
That-
are trash. The games are snooze fest. Like the Lions notes, I have one note for the Lions game. I wrote snooze fest second half.
I think you don't find it interesting. Do you stand by that? I feel like you might want to walk that one back.
I think he really doesn't.
I don't care.
It doesn't intrigue you.
The 1:00 games, I could care. I did not watch them. It doesn't.
I didn't
This
watch the
Sunday in
1
particular, I
Most
did
Sundays,
nap.
the games are terrible.
I napped through the third quarter. It's because what I was going to say it for the Lions Cardinals, but it's because of the lack of preseason now. The first couple weeks are tough to watch sometimes.
Now it's 3 weeks. Now all the injuries. Now it's just like every drive somebody's going down. We have to stop the game. It's like this guy's not ready to play professional football games for 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah. And then you make us think, like, is it really that hard? And then you're like, yeah, it is, because they are just hurling
Going
themselves at each other.
100% every single play. Your body's
Well-
going to give up.
Chase Young, maybe.
Chase Young's definitely going 100% every single play.
That's what he's known for.
He's a top 10 pass rusher.
All out Chase Young buffet. Should we talk about the Hutch quote?
I just love how all the Michigan fans is like, well, Lions fans. I shouldn't accuse them that they're Michigan fans.
Right. They probably are.
Yeah. Just instantly like, hey, give us your top 10, and they all just instantly just go for insults. Like, you know what? This guy.
It was actually jarring, and I knew I would almost.
People are losers, though. Like,
Well, people don't get it.
people
I
getting
didn't
that
say
worked up.
defensive end. I didn't say.
Is
I
it a
said
hot
pass
take?
rusher.
It's extremely hot take. But some of these comments, like, God, people on the internet are the worst.
I mean, that kid.
They want Evan dead.
That kid that is
They
on
want
Instagram.
Evan dead.
The kid that's on Instagram, what is his name? Brody.
Yeah.
That kid will not play varsity sports this year. I can promise you that. Good luck, pal.
That's what I was thinking for Evan. I was like, I wanted to get Evan in there and be like, well, do you coach middle school football? And then then when he scored 36 points, it's like, yeah, well, I bet your offense didn't score 36 points, pal.
I hope we blow him out on Tuesday. I'm screenshotting it and posting it right there underneath that and be like, yep, this is more what I just did. I wanted to go in and just like him on my personal account of everybody's tweet of them bashing me. I just wanted to hit the like.
It was a good lesson learned for the people that accuse us of baiting. So it was one of those ones I knew, like when I made the quote, I was like, I knew looking at it, I was like, people are going to interact.
Oh my God, they're bad.
I was almost texted the group chat and I was like, Evan, are you cool if I post this? But then I was like, I've done this in the past and Evan doesn't care. I truly don't think. And then, but it is jarring. Like, if I disagree with someone, and thought it was a bad take, nothing would compel me to type out you're stupid to someone. I would never
social media
ever do that.
You would never be compelled to type. You're probably gonna have to bleep a lot of this out.
Sure.
Evan needs to go back to get local 7-Eleven. Are you kidding me? Who has the time to type something out?
That was Brody.
He changed his name.
Cormac too for going back and forth. That was good stuff.
Brody's a high school student.
Is he at Tecumseh?
No,
is that what you were saying?
No. I just know because on his Instagram profile says 2025 baseball football.
It was bad timing that he had a 4.5 sack game before, but that was part of it. It
felt so good.
And let me clarify. Alex and I, we talked about last week. We disagree with it. I would say he's probably somewhere between 5 and 10, probably 7 or so. I agreed that I don't think he's top 5, but it's it is crazy how if you had just said he's not a top 5, I don't think you get even half as many. We're not talking like Evan said he's
people
terrible.
Like this. You know what this guy said?
No.
He's an analyst, not an analyst.
That's good.
Kidding me?
That's good comment.
Do you think that guy actually knew what he was spelling, or do you think he just spelled analyst wrong?
No,
I think he knew.
Clear.
I think he knew
laughing face at the end because he thought it was so funny.
Oh, it's just God dang the blue wall. You say one bad thing about their precious little baby, and it's like, holy cow!
What are you going to say this week? Because
tell them
we could use the interaction. Let's clickbait
Jesus.
people now.
I'm taking a small break. I took the ones where people were comparing us to Woodward Sports to heart. I was like, don't do that. It wasn't like we did this. Evan's not playing a bit. Evan actually has that belief, which is fine. Again, it's not like he said Mahomes isn't a top 5 quarterback. In some of the top 10 lists, you can go through it, and he's in the mix 5 through 10. It's not like it's a slant. Right now, this season through 3 games, he's playing for sure top 5. Just numbers wise, he's had a great start to the year. But if you did a 3-year, 2-year sample size, it's not it's insane that someone would have him as 11th. It's not like Evan was saying gravity doesn't exist. He was just be like, yeah, I just don't think he's top 10.
And on the record, it's pass rusher, not defensive end. There's a difference there.
Which is this
it
kid?
Is. I honestly though don't you think if you said top 10 defensive end that would help your point? Because you've always said you don't think he's as good against the run.
Did you see Nick Wyatt's tweet?
I'm
sorry, I'm lost. I'm lost in the comments.
Let Evan go.
I think technically you could do the technically defensive end would actually hurt my case because technically a lot of these guys are outside linebackers playing the pass rusher position.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Michael Parsons, I think, is technically outside linebacker. Well, I don't know what he is anymore, and now they changed their defense. But TJ Watt's technically an outside linebacker.
Oh, I think I was talking to Benny V about that because he was saying his top 5 and he didn't put Parsons in. I was like, I put Parsons in because I think if your job is to get sacks, you play the same position.
If this was a year earlier, I would be falling in love because nobody would leave Aaron Donald out of their pass rush list.
Or Chris Jones.
Like, I can't leave Chris Jones is on my list. I can't leave him off of my top 10 list of pass rushers.
He gets after the passer. Yeah. But it was certainly it was because it did hit a lull, like there was a little bit of a dip, and then that one Honolulu
the
Blues
Honolulu
account.
Blues, and it's,
oh my god, they have like 50,000 followers, and they quote tweeted it, and it was like. But shout out to everyone that gave their list. That's all we were asking. Like, I don't care if you disagree. Just like let's talk some ball on a Friday. Like, let's talk about pass rushers in the league. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What?
You can in on all the comments.
I haven't really like gone through it in a while, and holy shit, there are so many. One, did you guys see? You probably have to bleep this from our high school.
Yeah.
Did you see his tweet?
Yeah, he found us.
Algorithm
We're in the
be
same
hidden.
spot, buddy.
Who the is Evan? MSU grad? Question mark.
I chuckled every time somebody said MSU grad. I was like, well, not wrong.
It's like, damn it.
This Evan guy must know his shit. Only goes by one name. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
That's a good one. Like a soccer player.
So many Evan is dumb. Evan is moron. Evan is stupid. Evan is an idiot. Evan doesn't know anything. I mean, everyone's just coming at you. Evan, do you have anything to say to these people?
No, I like
Evan from Chad Krogs.
Show
is the man dumb and blind? God, I mean, these people are mean. These people are mean.
They're mean.
Who's Evan and why is he an idiot?
So the thing to talk about when you do the quotes, you have to like say who it's from, but it feels weird. I'm not going to be like Evan Cadmus says this. It's just I just do our first names because if it got to people that obviously don't listen to the show at all or didn't read our bio because I think it says our names in there and they're like, who is this? But I feel the same way sometimes when I see like PFF graphics and they tag like PFF Sam says this. I'm like, who the is PFF Sam? So I've had like the same reaction because it's not like it's like Adam Schefter or someone saying it. So everyone's just like, who's Evan?
See the most liked reply?
No.
Well, there's three. There's three most liked. It's who is Evan? Laughing face. Not terrible. Reasonable, no. Just like we said. Evan's a idiot from Hutchinson's Bulge.
That guy's not biased.
That guy's been down there then.
And then Rod's Wood said, who the is Evan? Crying faces.
Okay, so scale of embarrassment online. I don't know.
Evan took that za before this. What is that za?
Is it like weed?
That means weed.
Since when? I thought that was
Damn,
pizza.
Alex is a cop.
Since forever.
Alex is a cop.
I'm a narc.
I would rather have a take like Evan's that people disagree with overwhelmingly than make a Twitter account about another man's penis.
Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much all those people commenting, I would rather be Evan than any of them. Some of them are funny. Objectively.
Except for the analyst guy. He really thought about that one.
Yeah.
I probably had 3 or 4 like personal DMs after I posted on my Instagram questioning my ability.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like people you knew?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. At least we don't have randos. Evan, are you like mentally okay after all this hate you received for a week?
Every time I read the comments, I was laughing.
That's why I knew like Evan's built for this. He does not. He doesn't let it affect
Words
him.
can't hurt me. I'm sorry. Especially some no name over Twitter. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
me.
just looking at the account names and all these people, it's
if
hard
anything,
to,
it brought me more enjoyment. I'll be honest.
You didn't go to sleep that night and be like, Hutchinson's Bulge has a problem with me.
I don't see anything comparing us to Woodward Sports Crime.
There was one about Woodward.
Dan the Gamble Campbell wants Evan to block Hutchinson.
Now that we should get a piece of content.
Oh my god, can you imagine? I'll just run block at him and you run away from me.
You'd go low for sure. You try to take out his legs.
It'd be 1, 2, 3, boom, cut block.
Evan would get a 15-yard chop block every time. That was good stuff.
His short arms. He might just, at least I know his spin move. I don't know how these tackles don't know that he's going to do a spin move every single time.
He really spams that button.
Yes,
I don't know why the not Chad Krogs Evan makes me laugh so much. It just makes me laugh every
Just
time. I
blunt,
see
straight
it.
to the point, Alex.
It's
Just
just like,
because you can picture
oh.
that guy just standing right in my face and saying that.
Sounds like Kamala Harris wrote that sentence. Wow.
That's a dig to me.
Yeah, that was at Grant. Oh boy. Oh my God, this is funny. God, I mean, Evan, you should do this every week. It's bringing me a lot
I
of
gotta
entertainment.
think of something this week.
The
You can't do
7-Eleven
it.
one with
You
Corman
can't do
coming
it
to your
every week.
defense.
You gotta hit him
Woo-wee.
when. But see, that's the defense to Woodward Sports. We don't sit here and be like, hey, someone say something crazy to like. We're honestly talking about it, and Evan said it, and I was like, that would look cool on a quote graphic. That would
Maybe
get people
you
talking.
should. Maybe you should just timestamp Evan's hate section and see if we can get all those basement bums to listen to this part.
Basement bums.
Yeah, live in mommy's basement.
Hutchinson's Bulge probably lives in. So, I mean, what a name. Is this profile picture of the Bulge? Not to get too deep, but
Look,
quickly, I don't really have a ton for my week, so I don't feel like it. I played putt-putt on Friday night.
for you, shot 4 over.
Shot 4 over 46.
How many grown men have you met named Evan? That's just mean.
Quite a few, I feel like.
I mean, I know at least 2.
Maybe it's bias.
It was
but
4 or 5 in our grade or in our school when we were there.
Evan
together.
Turner.
Oh, this guy also
Evan
tweets at
McPherson.
Woodward
Evan
Sports.
Harrison, Evan Markham, Evan Reisinger, Evan
Yeah.
Eldred.
This guy's in the minority. He doesn't get it. Evan. There's others.
Evan McPherson.
Yes, playing now. Saturday.
My 7th grade
Watch-
quarterback's named as Evan.
Saturday, watched a lot of college football. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. Why did I say that? I think I just assumed I did that.
You
Saturday,
went
I
out
didn't-
to the bars.
Well, no, Saturday morning and like through the noon slate, I knew there wasn't really any games I cared to see, so I had to get some new dress shirts because I hadn't done that in a while.
You got
And
a
my
haul.
ones- I got a haul from Joseph A. Bank, as
Try
the
him on
ladies
for
say.
us.
I
Yeah,
will
put
not-
them on.
I will not
Do it.
try
Get ready
not.
with me on our TikTok.
That would get some hate comments.
That's the point.
That would be funny.
It'd be funny if you were going to a Lions game and you like painted your face and did a get ready with me.
Get ready with me.
That'd be great.
That was a good roar. So did that. Got home at like 2. I got home at like 3 o'clock. Settled in for the Michigan game.
3 o'clock? You didn't give yourself more time than that?
No, I kind of didn't want to. I was nervous. I was really nervous for this game, so I did not want to think about it. And then went to one of Marissa's grad school friends' birthday dinner, not a party. It wasn't like a.
The game, of course.
It was fourth quarter streaming on my phone, then watched the end of the fourth quarter in the bar. So I had eyes on it, but it wasn't the ideal viewing conditions for a little bit. Yeah, big pop from the bar. It was a mix of Michigan State, but big pop for Michigan when they won.
Evan, we watched an NCAA March Madness Michigan State basketball game standing in Harper's before. So
Always said I do not like that viewing experience in the bar.
I watched Michigan
difficult.
Villanova on the way to Nashville on my phone
I
in the
felt bad
back
for you the
seat.
entire time.
And you guys tried to sync it up in the front. And I
couldn't.
kept having to change it.
Couldn't. I always had to pause.
Oh,
I didn't
think
get to
it's
see
been
that
choked.
game.
Watch the Michigan State Seton Hall game in B-dubs.
In the tournament or
No.
just the regular
Regular
oh.
season.
Okay.
Come on,
Right.
Cash just
Oh,
went
you were in college still. I was at home. I just
When-
got home.
Oh,
Who was that guy that was sick
Watched
for
him with
them?
my dad,
Miles Powell.
Miles Powell.
That
Yes.
was the same night Miles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph in the face with a helmet.
Yes. Yeah, so watched it there. I forget the bar. It was in Clawson, Michigan. If anyone listens to this and is in Clawson, it was like Grand something Tavern Kitchen. It was so good. I know Alex is going to shit on me, but it was one of the best Cuban sandwiches.
I've ever had in my life.
Some people would say it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Dude, it hit my mouth and it just melted. It was the best thing I've ever eaten. Until next week when I go to some tiny little bagel place across from a homeless person. That'll be the best food I've ever had.
And they cook a fried egg off the hot sidewalk.
Literally, you can put anything in your
Brad,
mouth,
do
I
have a
think, when
question
you're
for you.
drinking.
Did you actually put mustard on a breakfast sandwich the other day?
It's so good. You guys should do it. It tastes really good. I did.
I'm
And
not
mayo.
against that.
Okay, what was on it? Well, mayo's just oil and eggs anyway, so
It was So I don't love cream cheese, so I go with a little mayo for the cream part. So it was
okay, mayo and mustard on a breakfast sandwich is a little weird.
Fried egg, Colby Jack cheese, and Canadian bacon
with mustard.
Yeah, I mean, I would eat that for sure.
It was really good. There's something about the mustard, the acidity from it. Alex, I know you love mustard. You should try it.
I sure do love mustard.
I mean, you drink mustard.
That was Saturday?
Drinking is a stretch.
That was Saturday morning.
That was in the middle of me just cooking a big-ass breakfast. I said, I don't think so.
Dude, I still have to eat 12 eggs.
You opened the fridge, looked at the mustard, and you're like, no.
No, I made a huge-ass breakfast, and you sent that text out, and I was like, yeah, there's no way.
On an English muffin, I should say. It was on an English muffin.
I'm not a big English muffin guy, so.
I like English muffins, but only with jelly. Because they're pretty dry.
Do you actually like English muffins, or do you just like the jelly part?
I like, I like the funnel
the
jelly
spoon.
Yes.
So yeah, Saturday. It was Grand Tavern something, and it was the pork
best
shoulder
place he's ever had.
The pork shoulder on my Cuban sandwich was out of this world. It was such a good sandwich.
Say it.
I cannot.
Say it was. Say it was that word.
It was an unbelievable Cuban sandwich. Again, with mustard.
So good, folks, that he couldn't even believe it was real.
And pickles. And I was 2 beers deep, feeling good after a win.
That's why it was good.
It was so good. So good. Then went to another bar to watch the state game. Didn't leave that bar until the state game was over. So credit to us for, we made it all the way through.
I think coming off a huge Michigan football win, you would think it's the greatest food of all time.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, anything probably would have tasted good at that point. All right. I think that is
okay.
That's
okay.
Should we get to the segment, Alex?
Pookies and dookies. Is that what we're doing?
Let me pull up my notes.
Oh, wait.
What?
No, you go ahead.
Bring the show to a screeching halt.
Sorry, go ahead. I forgot what was someone had a recommended ad to the segment.
Oh, presented by Dude Wipes.
Presented by Dude Wipes. I am trying a new... What the heck? That was a dookie.
That
was a dookie sound.
That is too far.
He wanted me to do an applause for Pookies. This sound for dookies.
No, I'll
play just one time. Just one time.
Okay.
Can I get the applause at least first? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's a one because people will go crazy. All right,
I mean, they're gonna laugh. People, every segment that I've added in the last couple weeks, people have loved it.
We should get the Hawk Tua. I'll cut that, and then we'll introduce it next week as like her saying Pookie, and then you'll play that sound effect for Dookie to intro it, and then we'll play it once.
That was good. That was a good clap. That was a good applause.
All right.
So Pookies and Dookies.
Pookie, Gary Danielson and Brad Nessler. They finally got a good game.
Happy for those guys.
Big for them.
I mean, they were basically talking about it pre-game. They're like, "Yeah, this is the game we've had circled all year," and I was like, "Oh my god, they really are hating their lives doing these games."
They even said, like, from the moment we signed this contract, we said this is going to be the game.
Finally, a game.
No more ruckas.
Good for them. Good for those guys.
Yep, that's my first one. What else?
This just wasn't very exciting.
I'll say, okay, fine, Alex, I was waiting for you to go, but I'll go. Pookies, I'm going Army and Navy.
Navy beat Memphis, right?
55 points. Army put up 37. 2 wins for the service academies, and they put up points.
Do they both still do, like, mainly triple option run?
Army does way more triple option, but I was watching a lot of the Navy game. Why? It was on the quad box on Saturday afternoon.
Sicko.
It's just the best offense to watch, and they shift and change into like a spread attack. Navy does a little bit more than the casual servicemen did. Memphis was lost. They had no idea what to do.
That transitions, if I can go while Alex thinks, Dookie,
Go ahead.
the forward pass. Because those two teams won, and from Tom Fornelli had a great tweet from September 21st.
No, for a fact, they had more passing yards than Michigan did.
Michigan and Iowa combined for 94 yards passing. Both won. Bad day to be the forward pass in college football.
Whatever you have to say to get through it. Whatever you have to say to get through it.
All right, I have a Dookie Pookie combo. Dookie Northern Illinois.
Yes.
Pookie Toledo looking good for the playoff potential.
False. Toledo lost on Saturday, Alex. To Western
They blew
Kentucky.
it?
Yes.
They were up like 14.
No, they've lost. Do some research.
Dookie of the week, Alex.
Dookie of the week, Alex,
me.
from Mac Schools.
Dookie me.
Pookie. Tennessee Volunteers as a title contender. We've talked about them before that they look good, but I'm taking them seriously that they could win it all. Their defense is that good.
Alex, you're right. They were up 14.
Tennessee.
Dude, I checked. It was like, I thought it was over.
14 unanswered in the fourth quarter. Blew it. Lost by 5.
Oh, my God. Changing mine to Dookie Toledo.
I just thought
Tennessee, title contender.
Title contender for sure.
Pookie. Defense is that good. Like, they could win the SEC and the title. They're that good a team, I think.
Alex's Oklahoma Sooners, and Jackson Arnold being bad and getting
Jackson
benched.
Arnold.
Big of you for saying that. Yeah, your bandwagon team's not looking so hot. Good thing you have the Spartans, whose matching number is still only 7.
Wow, Dookie.
Pookie. James Madison.
Yes.
Ooh,
And
Late add to
points.
the card. That was
Yes.
nice. Easy, sweat-free. That game was drunk.
I'll give
I
him
didn't
another.
watch a second of it
Pookie
either.
is Dabo Sweeney at home.
Okay.
He's lost like 3 times at home since 2014. It's something ridiculous like that.
In general, that's probably them versus Miami in the ACC championship game. They could play the game tomorrow, and we get the same. Like, they could just play it tomorrow. I don't think anything else is happening in that conference.
Correct. I 100%
Well,
agree with
Louisville.
you.
Grant, watch your mouth. Louisville's a good
Notre
football
Dame played
team.
this week.
Yeah, watch your mouth, Grant. Louisville fans, I'm sorry.
So that's a revenge game because Louisville and Brom went in there and spanked them last year. I guess they were home, but they had to go into South Bend.
Dookie, the state of North Carolina. NC State, and Evan just said it, but he could have just said Dookie, state of North Carolina. North Carolina State. Both getting just
Well, I'm saying
smacked.
Pookie to Clemson because I had money on them, and I was like, okay, here we go. See what
Pookie,
Clemson team
Evan
shows
winning a
up.
parlay.
Yes. North Carolina's a basketball state. They don't give a shit.
Well,
Dookie
they took Dookie.
Oklahoma State losing to a backup quarterback in a top 15 game.
Pookie. Zach Wilson's brother.
I'm
Sure.
so glad I didn't watch a second of that game.
I didn't watch
Is someone
a second of
tapping
that
a
either.
pen on a desk?
That's 100% Alex.
Be
Don't
careful.
have a pen.
Whatever is tapping on the that is I'm picking up a lot in my ears.
Yeah, I hear that too. Who's doing that?
It is so loud.
I'm gonna have to cut until you stop because people are going to just want to. There it is. I see
I
it.
don't really have anything else.
It's
I
a
have
pretty
a-
boring college football weekend.
One more
Dookie,
college, and I have
college football
3
weekend.
NFLs.
NFL.
One
Don't care
Pookie,
for.
last Pookie, we forgot about because it was Friday. Illinois with a huge road win,
Oh.
a massive road
I feel
win.
like that's more so Dookie, Nebraska,
Nebraska.
never winning a top
Nope.
25
We have-
25 team.
That's my theme of the Michigan USC game. We give credit to the team that won. We have to give credit to the team that won the game. Illinois won that game, and you know what, Alex? I agree with you. I think, but you're the one who started it. Tommy Altmaier is not that bad. You said he was bad to start when we did the rankings. You're like, he's terrible, and I was like, I agree with you, I guess, but I've been looking a little bit, and he's not that bad.
He's not that bad. He's not that good.
Not sure what it says, but I think he's a top 6 quarterback in the conference.
You're entitled to that.
I would
Yeah,
take him in a second.
I'd have to think about this. Think about the quarterbacks for a second, but yeah, it's probably fair.
Pookie, unfortunately, the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they are not messing around, and they're beating Super Bowl contending teams pretty easily. Now, I don't know the status of Andy Dalton's injury. I saw he's getting MRIs today, but the fact
Andy
that they
Dalton?
slapped around,
Or Brock Purdy.
oh, sorry, his twin Sam Darnold getting MRIs.
Sam Darnold's getting MRI? I thought Brock Purdy was.
I think Brock
All
Purdy
of
is
them?
as well. Well, Brock Purdy has back soreness, I heard. Sam Darnold is getting MRIs. I saw a fan accountants talking about it. He got banged up. Nick Mullins came in that game at the end.
For one
And
point.
I think Nick Mullins came in because Sam Darnold got hurt.
Yeah, for one play. And
A
then Sam
single
Darnold
play?
came back in.
He's getting MRIs
Oh.
or got them today. I don't know the results.
Oh.
But Pookie them because they are 3-0 and I thought after this Niners game, whatever, but after the Texans, you can't dismiss them.
Pookie, staff god.
Pookie, Stafford and McVay. They did to the Niners what they tried to do to us. They threw the kitchen sink at them.
Grant, breaking news. MRI revealed bruised knee, no structural damage. Sam Darnold dodges a bullet.
Huge. That's fair. They didn't need more injuries in their team.
Currently leads the NFL in passing touchdowns. It's FYI.
Dookie, Lions injuries.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Pookie, Andy Dalton.
Dookie, Bryce Young.
Alex, you know what you
Alex,
love? You
don't
love
tell
doing
Sean McCoy that.
The Dookies
Do
are
not
more
tell
fun.
Sean McCoy that.
No, you just love doing whatever the opposite to the one is.
Because I think there's always a Dookie on the other side of it.
Okay, Dookie, Evan, Pookie, Lamar is 21-1 versus NFC teams as a starter. That is
Pookie.
one of the dumbest stats of all time.
King Henry.
21-1. He would win the NFC every single year.
Who's his one loss to?
Okay, the trivia. Yeah, it's disgusting. But I want you guys to guess because I looked it up today.
Cardinals.
No,
What year?
I thought they lost to
Last
the
year,
Cardinals
I think.
last year.
no, they have not. I looked at it today. I went down the list. I
Lost to
confirmed
somebody
every
last
single
year?
game. I believe it was
See,
That
last
was
year.
Giants.
Spanked us.
Yep, it was Daniel Jones. Because when
Remember
that
they lost to someone bad because it was the whole like top team losing to the worst team thing going on.
when the tweet went out, it was like he's 21-1. All the replies were just Giants fans sending gifs of Daniel Jones, and it made me laugh because it's like that is just the only thing they can hold on to is that he beat Lamar. He's basically white Lamar, honestly, so it makes sense. Kidding, it was a joke. So Pookie Lamar, because that's insane to be 21-1 versus an entire conference.
Pookie, Jawan Jennings, star.
Pookie,
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings.
Dookie, the team for wasting that performance in a loss.
Yeah.
Because as Evan says, if they don't win the game,
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Those stats do not matter.
Throw it out.
Don't matter.
Dookie. Oh, only saying this because there's a lot of Saints fans that I work with. Their offense took a big dookie on Sunday after being like the best offense the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're still a Pookie through 3 weeks, though.
But dookie offense on Sunday. They had 20
Dookie?
first downs and
The
they had
Buccaneers.
0.
Yeah.
That was an
Oh,
embarrassment.
Dookie. But
Dude,
Pookie Bo Nix.
That is why I made those Jacksonville bets today, because I was like, I watched the Broncos do that to a team we thought was good. Like, the Jaguars can't go 0-3.
Buccaneers were white at home.
No,
I see highlights for the film on that game.
they didn't, because
Yeah, they
The
did.
Buccaneers were white at home. That's the reason why they lost 100%
They
fact.
did.
It had nothing to do with talent or anything on the field. It was 100%
They
they were
did.
white at home.
They did wear white.
they did wear
Stupid
white at home.
idiots.
Oh, Bucks. I don't really have anything else for that. I do have a Tigers question
Yes.
to rope them in here.
It made me so happy that Torkelson hit a home run on Sunday.
Mhm.
We were streaming it where I was watching it at, so we were a little far behind. I tried to get to my phone so fast when I saw it, and then I just realized I'm like 3 or 4 minutes behind.
Dude, the Score app that I use for my push notifications is so. I was the first one to say it because I was like actually looking at my phone. And it felt awesome to get it off first. It's a rush when it happens because you want to be in
bombs?
there. Yeah. So I have the stat. I bookmarked it today. The MLB was posting the fan graphs that does the playoff odds. So this is the official stat of where we're at here. Over a span of 43 days. So that's what, a month and 2 weeks? The Tigers have improved their odds to make the playoffs by over 70%. They were 0.2% to make the playoffs on August 11th, 5 days after my birthday. And now they are 71.1% chance to make the postseason. Unbelievable? I think it is.
Well, we don't use that term, but
And I know for a
it's
fact,
impressive.
we talked about one of the months just to throw off, like, are we buying or selling a Tigers wild card push? And I think we all said no, too early. And I think that was even before August.
Granted,
They were completely dead. They were off everyone's radar.
there
They
was
were
no
dead.
way anyone could have predicted this.
We're better by
Um,
subtraction. We're better by getting rid of Flaherty. You added a prospect at shortstop. You added youth to the team. You got an extra bat that has better at bats, so you'll increase the depth of the lineup just by subtraction.
I'm taking credit, patting myself on the back for Sweeney, because I remember when we made that deal, I was like, I kind of like him into trying another shortstop now that Javi's out. Like, I like that. Just throwing someone else in. He's been solid for them.
He has
Very
been.
good.
It's a youth movement.
Youngest team
Now
in baseball.
Jackson Job is up.
Jackson Job is up. We should
Max
have
Clark
all
is-
saw that coming because Jackson Job got called up to the Mud Hens, and Mud Hens isn't a top prospect. You sit there and wait at triple A. A lot of top prospects, you jump from Double A to Major
You
Leagues.
go from
and
Seawolves to the show.
Triple A is where the guys just can't make the roster.
They call them 4A players. I like that phrase that people say. You're a 4A player.
Yeah.
You're not good enough to be in the pros, but you're too good for the Mud Hens.
But
I started watching. I've been bleep it out. I've been hammering Stream East on Marissa's laptop iPad every night. I've been watching, been following along. I'm very delayed on there, which sucks. So I have to do not disturb my phone so I don't see spoilers of when runs are scored. But it's been pretty sweet. It was a lot. It was a lot over the football weekend to remind myself I need to be tuned into that as well as all the other stuff that I wanted to watch.
Exciting. And
It was putting our
Saturday,
hypotheticals to the test.
Saturday afternoon, Michigan games going on. Tigers are in extra innings, 10th inning. That was just...
Didn't Kerry Bonds have a 2 home run game in one of those,
on
right?
Sunday. Yes, he did. Hottest dude in
Yesterday.
baseball.
Yeah, good looking dude.
Here we are. Alex never thought we would be talking about Tigers in the playoffs anytime soon, and now
Why'd you say me?
You're the leader of the charge, I would
yes,
say.
I would say
You
so.
guys thought we were making the playoffs 2 months ago?
No, I'm not saying 2
No,
months
but
ago.
I brought up
but
the question.
Trade deadline, Alex, you were don't even have inputs on the Tigers most of the time.
Well, now I feel like I'm not allowed to. So
You're allowed to, absolutely.
No.
You went to a playoff game. I've never been to a Tigers playoff game.
been to more than one.
Oh, when Coco Chris dropped that ball in center field. It was a great day. Don Kelly sacrifice fly walk-off.
Used to be a huge Tigers fan as a child.
Well, I think historically, vocally, Evan is most doom and gloom on the Pistons as a franchise, and you are most doom and gloom on the Tigers.
In my defense, the Tigers gave us nothing to cheer for in the last decade.
Correct.
We haven't made the
Playing
playoffs
fact or fiction, that is a fact.
in a decade. So writing them off, I think, was only fair.
Boycott's over, though, right?
Well, we fired Alavila. Good things happened. We still have an owner that I'm not a fan of.
Fair.
But luckily, we have a GM and a head coach or manager, whatever you want to call it.
The GM's a good point. Well, we have the best pitching coach in the MLB.
Correct.
He is a
We have
wizard.
a great manager who knows how to win baseball games.
And manage a bullpen. Yeah, I saw a screenshot of our bullpen, and their ERAs over the since August are absolutely insane. We have 7 guys that are 3 or lower. It's disgusting.
Do we
And they're
think
just
if we get in, assuming we don't blow the last 6-ish games, 6-7 games, do you think we can make noise in the postseason? Or we're not
I think
ready
we
for
can.
that?
I think so.
We can bang on some drums.
Here's
I think we
the
can.
biggest question, Alex. This is going to be what the big damper is. Wild
Yeah,
card.
but you have
best
an
of three.
auto win in the wild card best
Alex,
of 3.
this is
If Scooble
Let
doesn't
me
have
talk,
to pitch against the
Alex.
White Sox, I know what you're going to say. We all saw it. We all talked about it already.
We did not talk about it already.
Yeah,
What do you
Scooble
mean?
doesn't have to pitch against the White Sox if we already have it wrapped up so that he can pitch game 1 against the Astros.
Correct. But also, if we don't have it wrapped up, Scooble technically could pitch that last day on 4 days rest.
Yeah, but then what would you have?
You can't
But
think
pitch-
about the playoffs if you're not in it. That's what I'm just going to say.
Yeah, agreed. I'm hoping we have it wrapped up before then.
I do
Because
too.
him in game 1 would be huge to
Twins
steal
are
one
playing
on
the
road.
Orioles. So what we got to get? We got to get Dormy. So we got to sweep the Rays and get 4 with 3 left.
The Ray. I was So this is Grant catching up on baseball. The Rays are going to be a pain in the ass because they're also 7-3 in their last 10, and they've won 4 in a row, and they're also like in the wild card hunt. They're 4 games back, but they're still like not going to be giving up, and it's basically the 2 hottest teams in baseball having to play each other, which kind of sucks.
They're 4 games back, and they can double up those games back based off of they're playing us.
Yes, I need
on
the
the mound
fan
tomorrow,
base.
though, right?
And the Red Sox are the same way. 'Cause the Red Sox are 4 back with 6 to play. Skubal is on the mound tomorrow. That game got changed from 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock due to weather. They're getting the game in no matter what. So it sucks for the fans because I think a 6 o'clock night game, I think you get more fans there now that you change the time less than 24 hours before the first pitch. Now, Detroit sports fans are crazy, so I'm expecting it pretty good, but I don't think it'll be as full.
The weekend series will be.
The weekend series versus the White Sox, that Sunday or Saturday game, if we haven't already
clinched
it,
rowdy.
Will probably be sold out standing room only. It would be a lovely time to go downtown this weekend if you're not doing anything.
Well, why did they get rid of the Game 163 idea?
Because there's an odd number of playoff teams.
Well, but
either way, though, they didn't need
because if we were tied with let's say we were tied with the Twins on the last day of the season.
Because 3 wildcard teams get in. That's why.
Right, but
the last team could still play the second of it. Like there could be a tie.
Correct. There could be a tie, teams. But there's multiple playoff teams, so they don't want to have to do game 163 if there really is a game. If there is a 3-way tie with the playoff teams.
What if it's just a 2-way? What if it's like Tigers are tied with the Twins last day of the year? I'm reading that the Twins would go because they have a tiebreaker over us. Why couldn't we just play one more game?
Grant, I'm 100% on your fact. Like, I don't know why we just can't do it by year basis.
Yeah.
I just don't think there is a good explanation. I think they just didn't want to do it.
Because game 163 is effing rock.
Not when you lose to the Twins.
Not when you lose in the whatever they used to call it.
During a middle school football game.
When Rick Hilderly is giving updates over the loudspeaker when you're playing middle school football.
That was electric.
It's exciting. Our dads are probably so pissed.
Yeah,
that's all I cared about.
We got back and we had to listen to Rick Porcello starting game 163. Holy cow. Oh.
Remember when he kicked Kevin Youkilis's ass?
Yeah, Kevin Lucas charged Rick Porcello for no reason.
Threw his helmet at him. Dirty player.
Coward. That's what he gets for
so you guys are saying that we need to have it clinched up by the 29th because we don't want Skubal to have to pitch the 29th.
Correct. The last day, we want Skubal not to have to pitch that game. So we need to be 2 games up with 1 game left.
Yeah, so he's pitching the 24th tomorrow. We don't want him to pitch the 29th if we don't have to.
Correct.
Also, I think we would rather play the Astros than the Orioles, so I don't think we even want to jump to the Orioles.
Based off what Corbin Burns did to us, yes.
Well, that's tricky because, like, I would normally say the Orioles have been playing worse.
But the Astros at home in the postseason, you're guaranteed to give up 2 home runs. Alex, I don't care if you're there or not. I want to win playoff game.
What's the first round series?
Best of 3.
Astros.
Wild card.
Best of 3. All road.
You just have to win 2 games.
2 games.
All road,
and if Skubal pitches the first game.
That's why Skubal needs to pitch game 1, because you need that first game.
Then with our bullpen.
The MLB postseason is stupid if that's how they set it up.
Correct.
Yeah, it's 3 road games.
They're lucky that we haven't been good for 10 years, that we can't now realize how dumb it is.
The MLB postseason wants the best team in the World Series every year, so that's why they do shorter series, because if you outpay to have the top 4 pitchers, you're hypothetically going to advance. They don't.
But I think
with like shorter series, you don't get the depth of your roster isn't as utilized, or like the strategy isn't as used. Like
ALDS is
a 7-game series. Yes, you have to use basically all 4 to 5 pitchers. Where best of 3, you're using 2 starters and every single bullpen person.
I feel like I see it the other way, though, where it's like less games, it's more variety for randomness. Like if you pull off one upset, then it's like you're in the driver's seat and you're about to knock out the Dodgers. Like they always lose early.
Yeah, I get that randomness, but I'm more.
Yeah, I think 7 games is more likely to.
Like if we were to play Shohei 7 games, he would just kill us.
Yeah, hypothetically, Tigers. What would you like? The Tigers in a 3-game series or 7-game series when Skubal's pitching the first game of a 3-game series?
3.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I think you're making our point.
The underdog has a better chance in a best of 3 than a best of 7.
I'm doing the point of doing the 3-game series is benefits
The
us.
underdog, not the high payroll teams.
In our case, because we have a stud.
Well,
and we have
do
like the
have- we have
lowest
best
payroll in
pitcher.
baseball.
He hasn't been paid yet.
Yeah, we put Evans Brand in a pretzel right.
You did. But I'm saying, like, overall, they don't want, like, the games.
Is
I
the
think
second round?
I think
is
it's
the
all
DS?
dumb.
Is the DS 5?
I think so.
That's so stupid. You play
How
162.
yes, you're about to make my point. You make us sit through 162 baseball games, and then we're deciding, you know what, in the playoffs, let's do 3. Let's do only 3. Let's get rid of 7. Let's do 3.
All right, so here's the
I guess
answer.
my point is, Grant, I guess the best teams usually have the best pitchers. It's kind of weird when like the Tigers have the best pitcher in baseball based off of our payroll. Like the Yankees have Garrett Cole.
But
and
every
you go
team's
into
going to
that.
have playoff teams going to have one good pitcher, probably more than likely. So, and
Well, right
most
now, if you look
playoff
at
teams
like
probably
if the
have
Royals,
2.
if the Royals make the playoffs, like their starting pitching staff doesn't have a superstar.
But when you think the Yankees, they would be like more likely to be 4 or 5 starters that are actually all good. So then in a 7-game series, they're better suited to win. Versus if you're the Tigers or just a random team, and let's say you have 2 really awesome starters, the rest of your starters stink. You just win the first 2 games, and boom, you move on. I just feel like the better teams would win 7 games, not 3.
I feel like the 3 games is because you don't have to worry about the depth overall.
Good
I would say
teams
you need
and
to
high
challenge
payrolls
more
have
teams in the
depth.
postseason of the depth of their roster.
Yeah, so 7.
So I
I
feel
feel like if they
because
they
you
want
can
the
overpay for all the free agents, and your payroll is a gazillion dollars. I feel like the Major League Baseball wants those teams in a 3-game series. Like, yeah, write them off. They're going to win that just because of who's on their roster.
well, hypothetically, I guess the best ones don't even have to deal with that. They play the 5-game series.
Yeah, they're
Correct. They don't have to worry
buys.
about the 3.
So, in terms of our matchup, which we shouldn't even get there yet because we
We're
still have
playing
work
the
to do.
Astros.
But so to set the state, we've played the Orioles 6 times in
We do
like the
control
last.
our own destiny.
We've played the Orioles 6 times in the last 2 weeks. We're 4-2 against them. Is it more likely that we can go 6-3? We can win 6 out of 9 essentially against the Orioles in a month, or to steal 2 from Houston.
I think we have a better chance stealing 2 from Houston.
So
It's
2
like
from
hard to
Houston.
beat a team 3 times, hard to beat a good team
I don't
6
think
out of
we
9
want to
times.
continue to play the Orioles.
You want to
over
go
and
back
over
to
and over.
Baltimore again for 3 more games, hypothetically?
I
No.
don't think so. Delman Young flashbacks, PTSD.
Oh my
I'd like
God.
to stay
Last
away
time we were in
from
the
there.
postseason. I don't want to play them again.
Are we
Ew.
going to be? Are we on TBS this year, or are we on Fox? What's the American League on this year?
Ours is
Valley.
whatever it is. It's the first time slot apparently, so it's a day game.
So I'm gonna be at work.
I have to take work off to walk over to Minute Maid.
I'm sure
That's
they'll
so sick.
understand. It's on Tuesday.
You got a live stream.
Oh,
I
Tuesday
already
day
requested
game.
today. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all day games. 3 days in a row.
Day game. That means I'm just going to watch it during work. I'm going to miss the end of it because I'll be coaching football.
Indian hour.
They don't have Indian hour anymore, Grant. It's tribe time in the middle of the day for 30 minutes.
Also, Astros will be indoors. I don't know if that makes a difference to you guys, but
They're going to
Have
close the
we-
roof.
they always close it apparently.
AJ Hinch knows that roster. We're good.
AJ knows
does.
Houston.
Have we said anything that you guys can think of, or that if the listeners can dig up? I hope not. Have we said anything too bad about Scott Harris? I feel like we've questioned him at times, but I think we're on the right side of history because I've seen some accounts being like, "Oh, some people need to apologize for giving up on Scott Harris so early." I feel like we haven't.
I think we've been
that.
believe it when we see it, people, but I don't think
We said
openly,
anything
like, hated
bad
him.
about Scott Harris. Not that I can remember.
I've
I
said
know
some
we've
bad
said
things
some-
about the owner,
I've said some
Correct.
bad things about the Illich family.
but
Correct.
not him.
I think Scott, we were always like, yeah, maybe not making moves super fast as we'd like because we're impatient babies, but
No, it's been a
I-
decade.
I don't know if was Scott Harris would he sign Kenta Maeda? Yeah, because Kenta
Probably.
Maeda was this year.
Never
Yeah.
complained about him. Only one person I know has
I
complained.
never
about
saw him pitch.
You never complained
So-
about Kenta Maeda and his terrible E ERA.
No, I mean I know he's bad, but there's only one guy that takes care of that for us, and I just laugh when I see it.
Yes, he leads the charge. I just started watching Tigers baseball like 2 weeks ago, so I didn't have to deal with Kenta Maeda. They've been great since I've watched.
So fun to watch. And now the games are even shorter. We don't have to wait 4 hours.
I think the minute that I saw that one lineup that we talked about on our show, where it was like the dream lineup of all the young guys, I started watching, and that was like, nah, I'm good to watch because I didn't care about all the other old guys.
Oh
First
my
full
gosh.
game I watched was the Little League Classic.
I don't need Jonathan Scope in my lineup anymore. I need a deep cut.
Picture this, Alex. You're walking over to Minute Maid Park. You settle in for your seat. You probably don't need hot dogs. You got a big, tall
Wow.
beer.
I love hot dogs. Come
Okay.
on.
You have a
got
nice,
a white
fresh,
Scuba jersey
steamed
on.
wiener. You have your I don't even know if you have
I have
any Tigers gear.
Probably your
Yeah, I
Mahomes
do.
jersey.
I have Tigers here. Come
You
on.
settle in for your seat, and it's Scooble versus Justin Verlander. Game 1.
Yeah,
And you're next to
JV's,
Marlins,
Barrel-
Bro, you're next to the Marlins,
according
man.
to Astros fans, Justin Verlander's not making the postseason roster. That's how bad he is.
We'll take him.
That's idiotic.
So,
That's stupid.
unfortunately, that dream
That's
matchup, I don't
idiotic
think it's
to
going to
not
happen.
have Justin Verlander on
They
your
might
postseason roster.
throw him in the bullpen, but like he's not starting a game.
So no Kate Upton.
Oh,
So Justin Verlander wants to come pitch 1 year in Detroit next year.
there's apparently some quote that Verlander said recently where he said he wasn't interested, or this is last year, he wasn't interested in playing in October anymore or something.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what Astros fans tell me, and I'm like, I don't. I still defend JB as if he's a Tiger, so I was like, I don't think he said that. But they don't like him anymore. They hate him, and they said he lost them a World Series, so they don't like him. Like the Astros fans have no appreciation for him whatsoever.
What if we just exercise all our demons? We beat Stafford, and then we have to beat Verlander to get to where we want to go.
I just told you he's not going to play. Yeah, but
all right.
Besides the Verlander part, sounds pretty exciting to me.
Moving on to football, where would we like to start? We got 3 games to talk about.
Boring snooze fest the Lions game was.
Stay in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what this game kind of reminded me of?
No.
You can definitely poke some holes in it, but it reminded me of the boringness that I felt during the Michigan State game in 2022.
Oh. The 29-7 game?
Yeah, less field goals, but like the
that
second
game had a
half.
high action start.
Yeah, where like it was like the Cardinals, like it was like, whoa, we're off to the races. It's going to be a good one. And then it just kind of settled in where one team's defense started to take over. And then that same team's offense kind of kept sputtering. And then the other team was just basically their offense was throw up deep balls 3 possessions in a row to like their best receiver and hope it works. And then they just kept stalling out. Like that felt like the entire second half of the Lions-Cardinals game, but with no field goals.
Snooze fest. I
That's
100%
pretty
agree.
fair.
It literally was like, okay, chuck it up to Marvin Harrison. Hopefully something good happens.
He down there somewhere.
Oh my God.
No, Terrian.
It seemed like both teams would get close to the 50 stall out punt. Get close to the 50 stall out punt. Like Jack Fox was actually our MVP.
He's a good
Evan,
punter.
Notes, Jack Fox, unsung hero, right here.
Love
Wrote
it.
that.
Defense
Killer.
played well.
Dan Campbell said that Jack Fox is one of the most clutch players he's ever met, which I've never heard said about a punter
Dude, almost
before, and I love it.
almost every locker room speech they post after we win games, because I don't think they post when we lose. He always mentions him. Always. It's like an automatic. He is saying Jack Fox's name. Which means
Jack Fox?
Best friend.
He's that good. He's a good punter.
Oh, Jack Fox didn't miss an extra point.
Someone in our chat say he needs to be cut? Go back to the
I don't know.
XFL.
There was an XFL joke, for sure.
first miss, and someone's already out on him. I'm pretty sure it was a twin.
That's our fan base.
Our fan base is tough. People were upset. People were not happy with the performance. So what did you guys think?
I loved it. That's gritty, just gross boa constrictor football.
Yeah, I had no problems with winning a game that way. I think it's exciting, fun.
People can call me stupid. I said it in our chat. There was never a moment based on the score and the flow of the game that I thought we were going to lose.
Never for a second felt like we would lose.
Which is a crazy thing to say about the Lions team in 2024.
I could have
Like,
taken
we've
a
come that
nap.
far.
the first drive, I was like, oh my God, we can't contain Kyler.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Or once we settled in, like second half, I was like, we're good. We kept letting him hanging around. I think I said out loud, I was like, well, we just let this team, like, the doors open, but like they never capitalized.
Didn't do anything about it.
No.
I really never felt nervous at all. The only like slight gasp I had was when Goff threw the pick six that wasn't a pick six.
I was freaking out at the TV.
A slight gasp. I was like, oh no.
I was
we got
watching
gifted.
it with
Let's be honest.
some
We
friends,
got gifted.
and there was a guy sitting there.
America's
He's like, no,
team.
dude, the 2-minute warning hit. I was like, what?
There was some weird like
The 2-minute
confusion
warning
going
hit?
on.
I didn't even know the time of the game. I'm looking at it. Boom, interception. I was like, oh my God, he just threw a pick six. Boom. He's like, nope, 2-minute warning. Couldn't believe it.
Goff started the game incredible, and then the Goff haters were out in full force again in the second half. So
He made one bad throw. Yes, should he have seen that guy? Absolutely. He was perfect in the first half. Probably a perfect passer
the
rate,
Goff
too.
haters were loud on Sunday. Loud.
They're going to
growing.
be loud from here on to the end
They're
of time.
growing louder, and I just
For the end of time, they're going to be
what
loud.
What do they want? Who do they want?
They want a
I know.
mixture
I
of
shouldn't let it upset me, but it does.
Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes
Mm-hmm.
that
child.
never throws an interception.
Also,
That never
there's-
has an off
the
game.
only gripe I have about Jared Goff is that he is slow. Like it does stink that he.
dual threat.
It does stink that he can't like. On Saturday I watched Aiden Childs elude pressure, and then I watched Jared Goff on Sunday, and I'm like, oh wow, this is not the same.
We're also watching the
Jared-
same
like,
game with Kyler Murray running around the field.
A guy gets past our offensive lineman, probably Taylor Decker and Evans scenario, and it's just like, oh yeah, he's sacked. There's just there's no hope for anything to happen other than he's going down. Hold on to the ball, Jared. That's just my thought process. So that's the only gripe I have is that Jared's just slow as dirt.
And to hold on to the ball, he really has cleaned up his fumble since his first year.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
keeps that thing tight.
Which is good and important.
Crucial.
Yeah.
Crucial.
But I don't like the Goff haters just getting louder and louder by the
That's
week.
why that meme exists of him. Don't be hating. Just post that every time they win. Like, win's a win.
Yeah. I mean, I like winning, so I like
Analytical
Jared to stay
people say
quarterback.
that wins are not a QB stat, but in your case, you need to use them to your advantage.
Jared's a winner. He's my quarterback.
I'm going to get my one nitpick out of the way before I talk about all the good stuff. We can't have 9 penalties for 79 yards, and there was 3 different offensive linemen that false started. So let's clean that because we can't be having
Also,
penalties.
we basically had a home game, so can't be happening.
No, this offensive line's too good, too big, too
That can't
fast,
be
too
happening.
old to be false starting.
Might be losing
They
right
would
now
say
for
that.
a while.
Week to
Yeah,
week.
that sucks. I was gonna kind of. We'll do the injuries a little bit more for the Seahawks, but yes, that is a huge red flag. We can transition to the injuries. This was a very physical football game. I think there was like 17 guys that went down in the first half. It felt like with all the stoppages.
Also,
Oh my God.
can we
Buda Baker went down.
can we just
annoying.
acknowledge also how good Buda Baker is on the one play where he's just like kind of floating around? Looks like he was like half-assing it
He's a
before the
top
snap.
5 safety in the league.
And then just full sprint into the backfield past every single person. I was like, dude, this dude is incredible.
he's probably the number one like run support safety, I would say.
Oh, it was just, he's fun to watch. He's
You
a
like
really
watching good
football player.
players. You're player
Yeah.
watching.
I was watching him.
You
I'm
were
like,
number
this dude is
watching.
incredible. Then he got hurt.
I definitely don't player watch nearly as much as you guys do. I realize.
Oh, I do it all the
I
time.
don't when we're on offense, typically.
Oh,
I like almost center my eyes like in the
vividly.
middle of the 2 lines, and then I kind of like see who's pushing who around, and then I start to shift as the ball moves.
never watch our offensive line. Almost never.
Well, because I try to see where the ball's going if it's a run. So
Oh,
you can
I
see who's
rotate
pulling.
between people just every single drive.
Defense,
I just,
I'm hard and heavy player watching on defense.
that's all I do over on defense.
Not
is player
just
watch.
Hutchinson, though. I try to watch a lot of different guys.
Oh fuck! All I
See,
watch.
I treat it the same way. I think I just watch like their offensive line as well, and then I like react to our defense after the play happens.
But I also
like, well,
I have a sweet spot for Kyler Murray. I feel like he's underrated.
Mm.
Bad
You
rap.
do love him for some reason. He played like
do
shit.
love him.
not a great game for him,
That
but his
interception
one before was amazing.
Bad.
The Kirby one?
The good
Yeah.
running the rock from the get-go. Good to see that the fan bases, what our thoughts were, the coaching staff, yep, we need to do that. I think I saw a post-game quote that said for the first drive, they said if they got 4 yards or more on first down, they were just going to stay in jumbo package the entire time until they had to abandon the run. And they just ran it down their throats, which is great. That's all we wanted after the Tampa Bay game. So they did that. Pookie of the week, Brad Holmes, for upgrading us from David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs from Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. That has never aged better as like we get further and further. Like the Bears fans want
from the
Swift
start.
benched. So yeah, I just will never doubt any of his reckless signings in the moment or draft picks.
I
like he knows
still
what he's
remember
doing.
how mad people were about letting Jamal go for David Montgomery.
First Jamal and then
I-
drafting Gibbs.
I
It's
was
like, well,
just
yeah.
complete opposite. I was always on the team Montgomery Gibbs side. So that feels good. Especially because I had
They're
a lot of
sick.
things go wrong this week.
They are sick. This was a tweet that I saw about the stats of those two that was pretty mind blowing. That this is a stat. It's about the whole offense. So the Lions are the first team since the 1970 merger, which I think we talked about last week, to have 2 running backs with 200 plus rushing yards and 2 receivers, St. Brown and Williams, with 200 receiving yards through the first 3 games of an NFL season.
White game for JMO.
I think the Lions are
So,
also first one to
Balanced.
have both running backs over 100 scrimmage yards in back-to-back games or something like that.
I believe it. They're weapons. The one sad part, he was really cooking early, was Laporta, I thought, until he got hurt. I feel like that they were going to get him going. I would have won my bet selfishly, so that's why I really thought about that. But he was definitely going to get the 50 yards. But he looked good in the time that he was out there. Yeah, I guess I don't have any like explanations for the second half though. That's a little concerning that they just like vanished.
They moved the ball and then they would just kind of.
Fourth down, didn't like the fourth down play call. If you want to
Yeah,
give
I'm
it to Montgomery, just like our group chat said, line up and give it to a power. Run behind Sewell's ass.
Well, he
Let's
gets
go.
the first down and everyone is praising Benny J's creativeness on that play. So
I don't think I praise it if he gets a first down there.
I don't like giving guys handoffs from the fullback spot. I feel like you don't
Correct.
get enough of a head of steam.
agreed.
You don't get enough
I've never
vision
liked
too.
that.
Like,
You're just in a guy's butt.
yes, it's like snap. Here you go, run.
Pause.
We also didn't block anyone on that play. So
They
That
also,
was
I think,
just-
sent the house. But
yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
it just didn't work. It's a weird second
Defense.
half.
It's the defense game. It's the one that they needed that continues to prove that they are a top unit in the league. In terms of what we are as a defense, the secondary is coming along, but really looking back, we are a stop the run team. This year alone, our opponents' rushing yards are 83, 70, and 77. So no one's broken 100 on us. And I saw this tweet from Will Birchfield for 97-1. Besides McCaffrey, Evan he'll tell you best player in the NFL.
it's the best player. in the NFL.
Besides him in the NFC Championship game, the Lions haven't allowed a running back to rush for 70 yards since Christmas Eve 2022.
oh,
Not
those
last
Panthers.
Christmas Eve. Yes. That's a crazy pull immediately. Yes. Chuba Hubbard.
That was
All over
disgusting.
us.
That was a game, but
But
that was the reason we didn't make the playoffs that year. Was that game?
That game literally broke Aaron Glenn down as a man, and he said, "We're never allowing someone to run for 70 again." Besides McCaffrey, because he's an out-of-world player.
70 or 100?
So, an individual rusher,
Oh,
70.
I get it. The team ran for 77. Kyler had a couple of yards. Whatever. Trey Benson had some yards. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
this
it.
year we haven't let a team run for over 100, over 85 even.
But
as
an
this
individual
year,
rusher hasn't rushed for over 70.
70.
Besides
We don't let anyone
the most
get in the
important
rhythm.
game in Lions football history. Yeah, if we'll just throw that one out.
Yes.
That game was Josh.
Dumb stat.
The good to see. I think we're all as a fan base in terms of player watching and taking notes of the new guys. Terry and Arnold, obviously, the most penalized player in the league. They dropped that on us early in the game, and he gets a penalty right away. But I took it as a positive. I loved how he bounced back, and he played really good the rest of the game. So I'm feeling confident about Terry and Arnold after this performance, as opposed to negative about another pass interference.
Yeah, our fans are not big fans of him, it seems like, but I like him. And I think he's going to continue to get better. He's way better than Jeff Okuda. So,
Rookie laws. You're going to have to take it as it is.
yeah, I think he's going to continue to grow.
Well
and
said,
mature.
Evan. Good temperament. I like that.
Like, he is playing one of the most difficult positions in the NFL. What would you rather have him do? Like, not throw a flag and get burnt and be like, oh, I don't want to touch him. Don't want to get my fourth flag of the year.
or him
Some
get a
of them
little
have been
handsy
questionable too.
and risk them throwing a flag. Like, it's opinion based.
Our secondary is physical and handsy too. That's the brand I think Aaron Glenn wants them to play. Carlton Davis, also winner. He's physical as.
Like, let him play.
Look, some of the hits he had and the play he had on Murray to stop him on 4th down were fantastic football plays. So huge game for him as well. And Kirby Joseph had my text. That guy has the best hands I think I've seen from a safety that I've watched on a team I root for in a long time.
It's crazy.
Him and Mike
that
Sanders
was your
still
text,
just catch
though.
everything.
But like, I feel very confident that you're catching that, or Evan's catching that, or any of us could catch that ball.
That wasn't the best one.
It was the weird time to send that because I was like, I think we all could have caught that.
He doesn't drop picks, I feel like, is the better point.
Yeah, but he's always catching like high lofted balls. Besides the one at home, the Aaron Rodgers threw like a bullet across the middle and he snagged it out of the air. That was a solid one.
That's fair. He does usually have those like high arcing ones that he just comes out of nowhere from center field and catches.
I mean, in Arnold's defense, like every pass interference in the NFL is basically like a spot foul. Like, even the ball can't even be caught. They're like, yep, spot foul. Here's 30 extra yards that you will never gain on your offense.
I don't know how we got to that take, Evan, but you must have been really just stewing over there about Terry.
I was. I didn't want to stop you guys.
He's defending Agent Zero.
I am.
Yeah, I like him. I have no problems with him.
It is crazy that he said he was questionable to return. He's like grimacing on the sideline, and then, next drive he's out there.
He seems to get banged up every game so far. I've been taking note of that.
Corners.
Yeah. I want to see Rakestraw too, but he got hurt in warm-ups last week.
Well, shit, for how much he had to run, it was like run down the field, and they would chuck it up, incomplete, run back, run down the field, chuck it up, run back. No time to breathe.
Rakestraw probably got injured on that punt that he botched and just slid through and destroyed the ball into the end zone.
That was a great play.
Punt spot attempt I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I'll never forget that.
That was bad. So bad.
But no, he pulled his hamstring in warm-ups before last week's game.
It's an injury you don't tell people
warm-ups. What the hell are you doing in warm-ups?
Before the Bucks game, Dan Campbell is like, yeah, we found out like 10 minutes before we had to put in inactives that he pulled his hamstring.
Yeah,
so they scratched him off.
You just don't tell people about that.
Moving to next week. So I flip-flopped. When I was making my notes earlier today, I was very confident about this game, and I had all my points ready. But now that our most important player on their entire team, Frank Ragnow, is going to be out, I feel a little bit more nervous about this game, especially because the Seahawks drafted Byron Murphy, and he's a huge human being playing defensive line.
Nerves? I don't get nerves.
I'm more nervous for this game than I was
week
3 hours ago.
Monday night at home. I'm not going to say I'm nervous. That's a lie.
Let's look at our previous recent history.
It's another must-win.
Seahawks.
Yeah. I get all your points. I totally understand why someone would be nervous. Personally, I don't feel nervous for it at all. And I could be wrong, but I don't.
I don't get nervous for the regular season NFL product that they give us every week.
I also would say, like, I'm not going to be crazy nervous about it because I know if we lose the game, it's going to be okay. The season's not over.
To the broadcast on mute the entire night.
Whoa, dude.
They suck.
Joe and Troy are great.
Oh, they
if
suck.
We get them.
Oh, you don't like them?
We might have Orlovsky and Fowler.
Oh, I didn't like that. I didn't like them in
full.
Orlovsky's terrible, Evan. I don't know how you like him.
He knows the game of football and actually talks about like the play concepts where Troy's just sitting there like, yeah, I don't really know what he's going to do there.
I didn't like Troy and Joe in the Dallas game, but I like them outside of Dallas.
I like them.
They made me feel like the game's important.
Yes, that's exactly how I
Respectfully to Dan Orlovsky, it feels like I'm in the JV game on Monday night if it's him. Yeah. Respectfully.
It's better than Beth Mowens and Brian Gracie for a Monday night game.
That could be us.
Correct. That is better than that. So the Seahawks, right? You look at them, their record 3-0, right? But we talked about last week the tomato cans, and guess what? They played another one. Their 3 wins are against the Patriots, the Broncos, and the Dolphins without Tua.
Without Skylar Thompson too.
Yes, thank you. He got hurt in that. So they're a paper tiger. They're 3. They may be good. I'm in on the Seahawks this year.
DK Metcalf has caught a touchdown pass over 50 yards in back-to-back weeks.
Confirmed. Buck Aikman and Lisa Salters.
Nice. Back-to-back weeks, 50-yarder. Yeah, he's a problem. good test for the secondary. He probably will have a touchdown for those wanting to look for anytime touchdown bets. But I'm taking stock in that offense that has given us nightmares. It's new. There's the same players, new scheme with Grubbs, new head coach, great head coach, McDonald. But I think it's going to be a different type of game. I think they're propped up by the teams they've played. The injuries change things for us, but let's just say before I knew Ragnow was out, this was a game where I was like, if we are going to actually go for the 1 seed and prove that we're top dog in the NFC, you can't lose this game, which feels aggressive to say in week 4 again. Alex is probably right. You shouldn't say it's the end of the world, and I'll find a way to spin it positive if we lose. But going into this, it's like, we cannot lose this game.
2-2 looks so bad.
It's not to that point. Like, it is not to that level where you
Seahawks
can't
will hold
lose
a
the
tiebreaker
game.
over us for the 1 seed.
I don't think Seattle's a threat for the 1 seed personally in their division.
49ers have lost 2 in a row too.
The 49ers lost 3 games in a row last year and got the 1 seed and went to the Super Bowl.
I would say if the Seahawks win
when
this
they had
game
a healthy Christian McCaffrey
and a good Ayuk.
Hargrave injured out for the year. Boom, gone.
My point is you can lose 3 games in the middle of a season and be the 1 seed and go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying, if you lose
fact or fiction, fact that happened last year.
It's not. Your season's not ending if you went 2-2 your first 4 and you looked a little rusty your first 4 weeks. It's not a must win. It's just simply it isn't. Sure, we all want to win, and yes,
I see it differently.
It's important.
But that's fine.
It's not a must win game for any of your goals.
For my personal standard of this team, it is a must win.
So if they lose this game and then they win out.
Okay, Alex, this is what I'm going to say. You have to clarify it as a must win, otherwise we'll never wear the black uniforms again.
Then you have to win.
You lose this game,
I
you
would
retire.
love these uniforms.
Gone forever.
No, then we have to win.
I don't think it's a must win. I just don't.
You hate these uniforms.
I like them, but
then we have to win.
I mean, I don't. I went through my uniform phase. Like, I just don't get jazzed up about uniforms anymore.
What? Because Jonathan Smith is your head coach now?
I think
make your own decisions.
I think when you like make it so important what uniform you're making every week, and then you just put a dog shit product on the field afterwards, it just kills the whole uniform thing.
Feels like you're attacking Mel Tucker.
It was just like a dumb gimmick. And then I realized on Saturday night how much I like our just regular uniforms. I was like, why did we do all that goofy stuff?
So you didn't enjoy the helmet pornography I sent in the chat this week?
I mean, yes, sure.
Those were good helmets.
Other teams have good. Yeah, you can have good helmets. Those were
SMU's helmets. Did anyone talk about that at work? Those were sick as well.
The Dallas ones?
Oh my god.
The cursive Dallas
one with the frog pattern in the helmet painted into the helmet.
You guys know who won that game?
Yeah, SMU just dominated them, which is crazy because SMU struggled to score more than like 20 points against Power 5 schools.
They changed quarterbacks. They benched their starter.
Yeah, Preston Smith is not the quarterback anymore.
They're Power 4 now, Ivan.
What did I write for the spread for this? When I looked last night, it was 4.5. Yeah, that means Vegas has no idea what to do with this game. Over under 47.5. That means it's implied total of 26 Lions, 21 Seattle. That's what they think this one could end up as.
Be good.
I like that score.
Davenport out for the season. Ragnow out week to week. Don't know about McNeil yet, I believe. Dan Miller had a good recap of all the injuries. Barnes out a significant amount of time.
Yep.
We should get Anzalone back.
That's good.
Branch is in protocol.
Day to day.
Hopefully he can play.
He's not playing.
He's
probably not.
But we're deep.
Iffy Melifano, wait, isn't Iffy hurt?
Yes, he was at least.
Brandon Joseph game from Notre Dame. That would be sick
this week.
And McNeil and Laporta day to day. If this is the game where the offense looks like they're not playing in the preseason anymore, I think we can still win comfortably. But who plays center? Does Glasgow shift, I'm guessing?
Yes. I think so.
And then Awasaka comes in on the right side?
Left side.
Left.
Isn't Zeitler?
Zeitler's on the right.
Zeitler's on the right.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't noticed Zeitler at all, but that's a good way because I haven't noticed him do anything bad either.
I saw him rip somebody's face off on a block once.
Hell yeah.
I saw him hold someone's face mask.
Grab somebody's face mask
when Gibbs took one to the side. That's the one I talked about last week. I said they didn't call that on the.
Well, I feel like the one I'm
Little,
talking
like,
about is
sweep
like they
on
actually
fourth
called
down.
though.
Oh, he had one where they didn't call. He just yanked a dude's face mask. Dirty player, but that's our player.
I'm gonna go 28-27 Lions.
Oh, just like me, I'm 27-25. It's been stuck in my head for the last 2 minutes. Lions.
Hawks cover.
24.
I picked the Cardinals last week. I should pick
20. Fourth down stop. That's
I
time
need no
expires.
rushing touchdowns unless it's Kenneth Walker. Geno Smith throws
he gonna
for 4
play?
touchdowns.
No, probably not.
If K9 sits out, I love our chances. Charbonnet is not great at running the football.
He's had a touchdown the last 2 weeks, Grant.
Yeah,
I know, but if you
score a goal line
like
touchdown.
he punches in the goal line ones, but I feel like he does. K9's a problem. We know that.
we know how good.
No,
he is.
he's a problem.
He had 2
He
rushing
can
touchdowns last year against the
bust
Lions.
off
You know
a
what
50,
he did. You know what he
50
did to
yard
97 in
You
college.
just run right at him. Walker's gonna be like, yes, let's run right at 97. Connor Hayward can block this guy.
Kenneth
and
is
Mike
too
McDonald,
nice to do
his
something
coach.
like that.
Oh my god, I love the. I'm excited to see Mike McDonald on the sideline.
Mike McDonald might give Aiden Hutchinson a sack on purpose.
He might. That'd be nice of him. We'd take that. 2 questions, quick of the Lions
Well,
before
if
we move
Aiden
on.
Hutchinson gets a sack, there's an asterisk this week. I'm just saying that right now. Mike
All
McDonald's
right,
gonna
got out
throw
in
one.
front of it. Get to 7.5. That'd be looking nice. Whew.
They give him a full sack for the Arizona one.
Yeah, I think so.
That's bullshit. That was a half a sack.
We're
They
not
got
doing
there
this
close.
today.
I'd have to slow it down. But
Grant, questions. Let's before
Yep.
we get into a Hutchinson debate.
from listener Brad, he asked, does Brad Holmes have the cojones to pull the trigger on a Max Crosby trade if it gets dark in Las
I was literally
Vegas?
thinking about that today. Because that
I think every contender is thinking about it.
true, but I'm just saying, like, you don't say that as a head coach talking about guys just not willing to play because of their, like, the cap situation or like their money or whatever. They're just unmotivated to play. I think that's what kind of Pierce was saying.
Yeah, he went full under the bus on his team.
Yeah, I'm all in. I will give up 2 first-round picks for him.
Would Brad do it? That was the question. Yeah, I think this year he would. I think he thinks that he has a full roster to win the Super Bowl now. So, yes.
So everything I've ever seen about Max Crosby makes me think he's not a turd. Like, I think he's loved in his locker room, and I think he plays really hard. So from that sense, I do think Brad would do it. That's why I think he hasn't done some on bigger names in the past that people have red flags on. But he hasn't shown us that he hasn't done it before, so it makes me nervous. Part of me thinks he trusts himself so much in the draft, he just keep building that way, especially with all the contracts he's been giving out and stuff. So long story short, would it surprise? Well, one, I don't think he'll get traded, but if he does, would it surprise me if it was not us? No, it would not surprise me at all.
Oh,
I would lean
I don't think we're like
65%.
favorite.
he's
No,
not,
he
he's not
wouldn't.
going to go to the Chiefs. He's not going to go to the Chargers.
Him and Hutch's Bash Brothers would actually be one of my.
Hutch would
I'll bleep that
Hutch
part,
would get
but
a
that would
lot
be
better
so
with
good.
Max Crosby on the other side. That's just a
It'd
100%
be-
fact.
It would be instantly the best pass rusher duo in the league, and probably one of the
Isn't
best
Max
ones that
Crosby
we've seen
97?
in the
Isn't
last
he-
decade.
Well, he's number 98, isn't he? What number does he wear?
I think he's 98. Yes, it'd be one of the best pass rusher duos probably in the last decade of the NFL.
Decade? That's pretty.
No, I think it would be. If we take Hutch's current form, what he's
Steelers
doing right
fans
now.
are punching the wall right now.
Well, I mean, T.J. Watt himself is basically a duo. So yes, but like one of the
Musgrave's pretty
best.
good, but he's never had a duo.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him Zadarius Smith for like 5 games. Jadeveon Clowney didn't really perform
was
great
all right.
there, I guess.
Anyway.
Sucks for Davenport. Buy or sell? The NFC North is the best division in NFL football.
So,
Sell.
You guys are out on the Vikings?
No. I think the
I'm out.
Vikings are good. I think the Packers have played nobody.
What is the best division then?
Bears stink.
Is it the West? Is it the NFC West?
AFC North.
AFC North, I would argue.
I guess, but if the Bengals lose to the Commanders, I'm fully out on them.
I mean, they should
About
have
an
beat
8.
the Chiefs.
In the
Who
fourth.
wins, the Bengals or Bears? If the Bengals are the worst team in the AFC North, that is still better than the worst team. In the
Pound
NFC
for
North.
pound, like you compare each team to each team.
Bears could beat the Browns, and then Vikings would beat
We're
the
gonna lose
Bengals.
to the Browns.
We're gonna lose to the Browns.
Oh,
Bears could be,
Browns
Bears and
suck. I
Browns
forgot about
The
cancel
Bears
out.
are bad.
Bears and Browns cancel out. The Browns
The
are
Packers
shitty.
aren't like
Packers would beat the Steelers with Jordan Love.
Whoa, we have to play the Steelers because they're the 1 seed.
I'll let Luke and Connor fight that out.
Last time we
the Ravens
the
would,
the
Ravens would kill
one.
us.
Last
The Ravens
time we
would
played
kill
the Ravens,
us.
it was not fun to watch. It was hide your
Correct.
kids.
I think the fan base jumped off the ship. Some of them at that point, they were very scared after that. But good thing we didn't have to play them ever again.
I'm
I'm not sold on the Packers yet, to be honest.
I'm pretty sold because with the Willis stuff, it's impressed me even more.
They are playing blind teams. The Titans are terrible and the Colts are
they're
terrible.
killing them,
the
though.
Colts are.
The Titans and Colts are really bad.
But they're doing
they
what
played
Will
two
Levis
rookie
looks like a
quarterbacks.
freshman quarterback
they
for
murdered them,
a
though.
high school.
Grant, they played 2 rookie quarterbacks
They murdered them, though.
that are prone to turnovers. Who they played
The
this week? They
Broncos
played the
just
Vikings.
murdered the Bucks. Are the Broncos really good?
Okay, question. If we start Hendon Hooker, you think we win like that against those two teams?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you believe
I
that,
think
then
we
I
beat the Colts
respect
with
your
Hendon
opinion.
Hooker because we would do the same thing
Yes.
as the Packers did.
We could
We're
just
gonna
run
the
it down
ball
their
your
throat.
throats.
All right.
Kidding me,
Quarterbacks are
Grant? What
better
is this
than the-
Packer you're doing?
Marissa's making a turn.
No, well, one, I bet on the Colts to win, so I lost that.
Betting
Why
bullshit.
are you
And
betting
then-
on quarterbacks that are unproven to win an NFL game?
Because I thought Malik Willis was actually one of the worst I've ever seen take a snap. And then he
Correct.
ripped off 2 20-point wins in a row.
He's not doing that much.
You know what, Evan? Sue me for thinking Anthony Richardson was better than Malik Willis when I made the bet. Sue me.
Matt LaFleur, good coach.
Yeah, really
Colts,
good. Like
bad
top 3 in
team.
the NFL right
Top
now.
3 in the NFL.
Titans bad
Right
team.
now.
Oh my
What
gosh.
he's doing with Green Bay.
Connor
Him and
brainwashed
McVay.
you.
No, no.
You have your own Packers podcast with Connor. I know it.
That would be great. No. He overinflates Rashawn Gary. He put him in his top 10 pass rusher list. I could tell it all over his face. They had 7 sacks against the Titans.
The Titans are bad. What are you talking about? The Titans are. I was reading some power rankings article today. They're dead last. They're the worst team in the NFL.
What that intrigues me. What power rankings articles are you reading?
Can't tell you.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
back on the Athletic though.
Hell yeah. I love that. College football. Where do we want to go? Which team?
Michigan State.
Hmm.
Grant,
Pat
answer your
myself on-
questions.
Pat myself on the back. My prediction for this game was 23-17, which is pretty damn close.
Good for you.
Pretty damn
24-16.
close. My main question is, also I have one funny stat that I saw today when I was searching stats for leaders in college football. Childs finally overtook Davis Warren in the interception race in the
Oh.
state. So he finally overtook him. But impressive work for Davis Warren in the 2 games that he played. Biggest question is, I'm sure Alex will have a rant about people overreacting about benching Childs.
Rant. I just think
If you
people are
think to
fucking
bench
stupid.
Childs after some of his plays that he made, you're an idiot.
Right. We're
You're
all
an
in
idiot.
agreement. We all know ball.
Grant's
It's
about to
not-
say
he's-
something stupid. I already know it. He's
No, I'm
gonna
not.
say
No,
it.
I'm thinking of myself as a fan of this team. What point in again, Childs should be the starter fully. What point of the season do you start to pull back some of the grace you give him for some of the mistakes? Like by week 8, when does it get to the point where you're like,
that, Grant.
okay,
If he's
But he
making
has
those,
huge-
I don't know. Actually,
but he has
week eight.
the
What,
biggest
we're
part of the
already
schedule
week 4?
coming up.
Correct.
Right. So by week not in the last 4 games of the season, probably when you're playing the mid
Week
10,
what is
the middle-
Michigan? Is that week 9? Week 8?
Sure.
It's bye weeks, whatever.
It's the 8th game of the
our
season.
8th game.
It's the 8th game of the season.
Okay, 8th game of the season. He has to be mistake free during the Michigan game. That is the standard I hold him to. It's the biggest
feel like that-
rivalry. You cannot make mistakes in that game.
Like no picks, no
That's
fumbles.
a crazy
No
thing to
picks.
say to anybody playing in a game. You
I
just can't
understand
make
that.
any mistakes in this
But-
football game.
But Miller Moss threw a pick 6.
People
He's
throw
staring
interceptions
down an
all
out
the
route,
time.
and you're throwing against an All-American corner that is sitting and just watching the quarterback's eyes. Like you pump fake that once, you get to throw the turkey hole, John Gruden's favorite, up the sideline.
Graham Couch had a good column on Aiden Childs. I think you guys should read it if you're interested.
Alex,
can't get
I don't want
behind
to
the
see.
paywall.
I, don't wanna
It's
see
that
I
one was
do
free.
want to see growth, but I don't
Oh.
want to see growth year to year. I want to see growth week to week.
Yeah, and I think he is growing week to week. I do
Okay,
think
so
he's
week
improving.
to week. Okay, Alex, week 8, you're hoping he doesn't do that same mistake.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't give my answer. I think if you have the core, the season is 3 quarters, basically. You're breaking it, or not quarters.
Alex, week 8, I want him to be able to throw an in route over the middle and not miss the receiver by 4 yards to the inside and 4 yards behind him.
Do you want my answer, or do you want to just tell me what you want?
The Michigan game, I demand perfection for that game.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say the next 4 games are very hard. So if we can just see him to continue to mature in the next 4 games, I know he's going to make mistakes in the next 4 games, including Michigan. It's just going to happen. But then after that, when we get to the back half of the last 4 games of the season, that's when I want to see it start to like fully click.
You better be carving those scrubs up.
I mean,
so Evan,
demanding perfection from the kid in his 8th start is a little.
He's going to complete every single pass, but I don't want those deep ball interceptions to lose us the game. But also, he's also missed 3 or 4 wide open receivers in the Boston College. Great. I don't know if you watched the game, but
I watched it start to finish. Dumping. It's also a wet ball.
It's a wet ball.
Yes, I
new wideouts that he probably doesn't have that much chemistry with.
About the
Isaiah
Johnson.
Johnson.
He missed Montorie Foster like 3 times. That's not a new wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that since week 1. Those two do not have great chemistry.
I don't give a shit about chemistry. It's the same. It's a 15-yard, 20-yard out route that you've thrown 60 times during the week. You could make that throw in the game.
Yeah, the only thing that helps us is like continuing to get reps in games. That's what's going to make him better.
I 100% agree.
He's going to miss throws. I don't know why people have this crazy expectation that he's going to go 30 for 30 every game with 6 touchdowns and no picks.
Okay, but you miss one throw, and then you come back and you do the same throw and you miss it again, infuriating. You come back and miss that same throw again, infuriating.
In his defense, he missed those 2 throws, and then he hit the throw down the middle to Foster to the 1-yard line, and then he scored a touchdown.
But not when we're running all these deep over routes on the sideline, then we shouldn't be designing those plays.
My question to Spartan fans is just I don't know what quarterback you want. Because if you just watch all the quarterbacks prior to him
that we had before this,
none of these quarterbacks are making any of these
100%
or doing anything that he can do. Anything he can do.
I want the talent beforehand.
And
we got the true Aiden Giles experience.
It's going to take time.
Two plays back to back. 3rd and 12, dodge, evade, scrambles for 25 yards. Boom.
Dip, dodge.
Next play, interception. Literally the next play.
Yeah, that's what a young quarterback with a lot of talent and a lot of belief in himself is going to do.
I don't think every quarterback's going to do that.
Yeah, the ones that don't have enough talent to make those types of plays cannot do that. That's true. Davis Warren could not get into a situation where he makes jaw-dropping plays and then throws a pick. No offense to Davis.
Eventually all these interceptions, Alex, we're going to lose by 45.
Yeah. This is year 1. Okay. We're going to lose games. For sure. On his shoulders. We also can win games because of him.
I 100% agree with you.
We're not in that game without him.
You're too nonchalant about it. We're not in that game without our defense, I would say.
Yeah, no, the defense played well, but they would also be more tired if we were going 3 and out every play with Caden Hauser or Noah Kim.
And if you look at glass half full,
defense wouldn't be on the field so much if we didn't have all those interceptions.
I mean, one of them, the defense didn't go back in, so it's only 2.
2 of them.
If we
Alex,
had
he leads the country in interceptions, we got to cut it off.
Yeah, agreed. He has to.
There's a guy that has 8 out there. He's close to
yes.
Your point is valid. He's like top 5.
Sorry. I mean, that's his first true. I mean, yes, Maryland was on the road, but like that atmosphere was garbage.
That's
like his first
true road game. False. No, he played in the Pac-12 last year. He played every second drive.
I said starter. 3rd.
He was basically a starter. He played every second drive.
3rd.
Now we're just nitpicking, okay? He played the first quarter every fucking
He had 30
game.
pass attempts last year, the whole entire year.
Here's something that I think we're really overlooking. That's just simple football
Nathan
brain.
Carter dropping a touchdown to win the game. Yes, Grant, we are overlooking this, and nobody wants to talk about this fact.
Ron Lynch Adams fumbling on a kickoff.
Yes, to start the half.
Do not return kicks ever again. It's a lost art. You're not good. You're not talented enough. You're not fast enough. No one cares. And I'm telling this to every college team. You're not
there might be like 3 or 4 that can do it.
And breaking news, you're not one of them.
Like Texas. Isaiah
Bond came to mind. I think
Matthew Golden could do it.
What's the freaking USC kid?
Zachariah Branch could do it.
Cooper DeJean. Sorry. Too soon.
Too soon.
Not too soon. I'm well over that.
Punts.
No, but
feel free returning punts. Absolutely, go ahead. Kickoffs.
Can I say? I have something to say about Aiden Giles.
Yeah, please.
And the fan base and anyone that listens.
I'm not done talking about it.
Cheers for green and white. We can all agree he had 3 bad interceptions.
Yes.
Correct? Everyone,
Yes.
we got to work on a base of facts.
I don't remember
can
the
also
second one,
say-
to be honest.
It was the same over the middle to Velling, but it was like
That time behind.
behind him.
Yeah.
Second one was behind. First one was in front.
Second was the
Last one was end zone.
first good read, bad throw. Second, bad read, bad throw. Third.
They were both this. He was open on both of them.
We're nitpicking. He had 3 bad interceptions.
Yes.
Fact.
Yes, Grant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also a fact.
No one denied
People
it.
people care 50% less about those if they just win the game. So really what we're trying to say is
100% facts.
he's the right quarterback for the team, which Alex, I think, said last week, where the talent around him is lower. You need a guy that can actually make plays himself, which he can. He gets in red hot modes. And my biggest thing was just like, it's going to probably get a little bit worse because of the competition level. So to your point, Evan, if he throws 2 picks and fumbles against Michigan, are you to the point where you're looking to put in Schuster, or
No,
you like
hell no.
Okay.
You
I didn't know how
reason
far
for Schuster
people
to
would
go
get.
in. People are going to get that after next
Grant,
week.
I want you to do me a favor as a true friend. If I ever say put Schuster in over Aiden Childs, will you just drive down there and punch me square in the face? Break my teeth out? Oh, my gosh. The talent is there, but I get it. But like at some point, if he's making all these mistakes, you're going to have to pull back the reins. You're going to have to limit what he is allowed to do in the game.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable, I feel
You're
like.
going to have to dumb it down and make it easy.
I don't know, man. It feels like the sample size is really, really small.
Okay,
and
Alex,
we're
you can't have
already
it both
just
ways. Do
nitpicking.
you want to develop, or do you want to win games? What do you want this year?
I want him to develop so that next year we can
Okay,
be
so-
really good.
Okay,
Because
so
the
you don't
talent
care
around
about
him is
winning.
not good enough. The talent
so
around
then
him is
you
not
can't-
good enough to win.
I would disagree with that.
The next 2 games.
Our offensive line is
Are you
bad.
talking about just the next 2 games or the rest of the year?
I mean, we can win football games. We have enough talent to beat the middling Big Ten, but we don't have enough talent to do something special.
I'm not asking for special, Alex.
You asked me,
What is-
do I want him to
what is
mature
special?
and get better, or do I want to win a bunch of games?
Alex,
Sure, I want to win a
honestly
bunch of games. That's
expect to
not
walk into
feasible.
Boston College and win. That's what I expected.
You know what, though? That sentence right there proves how special he can be, because you would not have probably said, well, Boston College, but like we always said, even going into the year, you probably split Maryland, BC based on where the team was at on
I said
paper
win.
going into the year.
I said win.
Boston College, we were a better football team. There's no denying that.
You could argue that, Alex. I disagree with that statement.
They're a good outfit. They're a good club.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna poo-poo Boston
I
College.
don't know what a rushing yards finished up at yet, but I know for a fact they outrushed us. That doesn't make us a better football team because they outrush. When either team outrushes you.
I just felt like watching that game, I thought we were a better team overall. We had more guys, special dudes.
They had a dude with over 150 receiving yards, and I think they had a dude with over 150 rushing yards.
All right, well, I was going to finish my point to say that Boston College is a respectable program with a lot of seniors, and no one left when Bill O'Brien came. They had no transfers out, and this is like year 3 or 4 of all these guys. So they're a respectable, good, old team. We're a 68 new player, young team with an inexperienced quarterback that makes a lot of mistakes. The fact that we should have been in it, yes, because we saw the start of the first 3 games and we're like, oh, we actually are okay. With all of Child's mistakes, we should have won the game still.
And your second best offensive player was out.
The top 3 to 4 wide receivers preseason were not playing. You've lost both right guards to season-ending injuries.
Don't want to make mistakes because every team has injuries.
Yeah, they're not excuses, but I'm just saying, with all of that, plus Childs, who everyone thinks is the worst quarterback in America and the best all at the same time.
No.
You're over-exaggerating that.
I said and the best at the same time.
You're also over-exaggerating that.
No, people they think he's poop.
Did you watch Will Howard play against Marshall?
No, and I don't care.
No, I didn't.
You're missing out.
He kind of is though. He kind of is the best quarterback that I see with my eyes, and then he's the worst.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
Back-to-back.
Hyperbole, but
We said it preseason that this was going to happen. I didn't know.
People need to embrace it.
I
the fan
didn't
base
know
needs
the
to
highs were
embrace
going to
it.
be that high. I did not know.
I just didn't expect him to have 8 interceptions through 4 games.
He's a confident kid
chances,
that
baby.
thinks he can make every throw. He thinks he can do it every time. And
Yes.
he's going to mature and get better.
It's awesome. I love watching your team play.
Well, I need him to mature.
We
for
said
the
if we're
Michigan
exciting,
game.
we'd be happy about it. And now all of a sudden we're changing our expectations.
I'm not changing
Where
my
people are
expectations.
texting saying, "Oh, if Tommy Schuster plays that game, we'd probably win." It's like,
Alex,
well,
I never said that.
I didn't say you, Evan. You don't have to take it personal every time I make a take. I'm
You
just
are making
saying
it
that
personal.
there's a lot of people saying
You're
it
lumping
on
me into
Twitter.
that category of people.
If you want to continue to get offended over nothing,
Alex, I'm the one that
your
said at the beginning of
prerogative.
the year we're going to beat Iowa and we're going to beat Michigan.
And we haven't played them yet, and we still
And
can.
we're going to still beat them.
Well, Evan, you can't take the Michigan one seriously because you'll never pick Michigan over them.
I'm just saying after that
Correct.
game and what I saw, I feel better about Michigan State as a program and where they're headed with Aiden Childs than I did preseason. I
And
feel
he's
way
smart.
better.
Yes, Alex, I have of Aiden Childs playing his senior year at Michigan State.
Junior year, he'll be going
Like
pro.
a year from
No,
now,
Grant,
Evan?
he's coming back.
He's going back his senior year.
If he's that good, he's going pro.
A year from now, when we're playing, we're coming off Boston College at home. We just won by 45 points. I'm going to think back to this moment where people were just so upset about his 8 interceptions through 3 or 4 games or whatever. I'd be like, well, that was a process.
Well, we've also been
Mhm.
saying it for multiple years. Alex, Michigan State fans might be some of the worst Twitter
They
trolls
are.
of all time.
But why did people forget that everything is a process? I don't get it. It's going to take a second. You can't just
Because of
demand
Amazon.
perfection.
Because we had the deep, dark gloom hanging over our head, and we have to play Ohio State and Oregon next. It'd been nice just to
We're
get
turning into all
4
those
wins.
other shit fan bases who bring in 5-star QBs and they naturally have bad games. We just have never really had this. So now we get
You guys-
one.
This is literally the Tigers fan base after Avila left, Mel Tucker being Avila, and then you just want to get good fast because you've already sucked the last whatever, but it takes a while, like Scott Harris is showing us.
Yeah, you want to do the Mel Tucker, bring in Kenneth Walker on a miracle and be good for one season and then realize that you didn't do anything else and your team's for 3 years?
Because we have a
No.
That was a
competent
cool-
coaching staff, Alex.
That was a cool season, though. That was a cool season.
Cool season that our
Peach Bowl.
Band-Aid team got beat by Ohio State by 60 points and a half.
Well, because you talked yourself into beating that game. And
Speaking
I said we
of-
weren't going to win that game.
Well, I didn't think. Yeah, I didn't think it'd be 49-0 at halftime. Sue me.
Speaking of that, big game
It's a
in
game.
East Lansing.
And
I
now
want to go
everyone
tailgate so
thinks we have
bad.
no chance.
7 p.m. Peacock
I'm going.
exclusive.
I'm going to East
OSU minus 25. Evan will be there over under 49 and a
Doing
half
it.
points. Implied score being 37-12 Ohio State. is
Oh!
what Vegas thinks the score will be in this one. I guess when we start with this game the last few years, what a chance do you think you can hang around?
It's the best chance
Hang
we've had
around
in a while.
it's a one-score game at the start of the fourth quarter.
Don't do that.
It's the best chance we've had to do that since 2016 when we went 3-9 and took them to the brink. I think that's
Probably-
legitimately the best chance.
Probably because of both sides of the ball. They're a little bit
Oh my
different
God, I
team
was
this
like,
year,
what about
and you guys are a
2017?
little bit better.
Got blown out in 2017.
They're
Maybe
not really going to
the-
try to go aerial on you. They're going to try to
2018?
exotic run with Chip Kelly. But
What happened in
as a
2018?
neutral fan here,
Did we play them in
um,
2018?
Yeah, that was the we watched it in the Breslin Center.
I would
I guess they had a
say
chance in that game too.
Oh,
I don't
wait,
think it'll-
back-to-back years we had to play at Ohio State?
Yeah, it was the schedule flip.
I don't think it'll be a one-score game in the fourth.
No, I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think
I
so
don't think it
either.
will be.
Beginning of the year, I said we would lose 59-0, I think.
I think the only reason to think that it could get to that point is we do have a quarterback who could elevate to that for 3 quarters. I don't know if we'll see it. It's probably unlikely. But we at least have someone that could turn it on and put
Their
a team on its
defensive line
back.
might eat our offensive line's lunch.
Yeah.
They are very old.
Aiden's scrambling ability seems pretty good. It's whether or
This
not
is
he's
like
going to
Ohio
chuck it
State's-
into double coverage
This is
after
Ohio
he
State's
loses.
first test.
Yeah, there'll be a wake for it probably, which stinks. It's at home.
Well, wait.
It's at
Don't
night.
they play? No, they don't play Oregon the next week. They play the week after that. It's not a look-ahead spot either.
I mean, I would rather play Ohio State right now than in week 8
play Iowa next week at home, so they're not looking ahead to that. They don't have to worry about that. They won't score.
I think Ohio State, you have a chance of them starting slow as they adjust to a road game and competent team. They haven't played a competent team.
38-20. That's what I'm predicting. 38-20.
I don't know enough about Ohio State's defense.
I like a lot of field goals.
Think if we could score points.
40-10.
Oh.
They sneaked the cover.
I think our defense stinks.
Well, no, actually, this cover's 25.
Because you've been anti Will Howard Ohio State offense, but you don't think we can slow them down.
I think they're just going to run. And then I think Jeremiah Smith will just go, and then Childs will probably give him 7, and then special teams will give him 7, and it'll just snowball.
Special teams.
I do think Ohio State's a wagon.
Yeah, I don't think we can play it by any means.
And they scare me this year because I think they're actually tough, and I think their defense is legit.
I think it could be like 21-10 at half, and then we don't score anymore after that type of deal. Where you're like, oh, that was okay. And then you lose like 42-10. So my prediction will be not that. I'll go 35-13. 35-13. Almost a spread.
Yeah. Evan, MSU money line?
No,
one time?
I said 38-20.
Oh, 38-20?
38-20 would be a win.
Slow start for the Buckeyes.
That's 20 points, even if they come towards the end. That's solid. Take it.
A lot of field goals.
Great. You think there's no way we're in this game? No way. Third quarter comes around, we're within 7. Any possible chance of that happening?
It's the start of the third. Like start at halftime.
Any point in the third quarter.
That it's 7 or less.
Sure.
Not really.
Do you think Michigan could do that?
I'm biased, of course.
I don't know about that.
I just don't. Michigan runs the ball
Yeah,
better
Michigan
than
and Ohio
State does.
Yeah, they do, but they pass the ball significantly worse.
Right, but running, you got to be able to run against Ohio State.
We'll find out.
Or
what would you
Manziel.
predict the Michigan Ohio State score to be if they were playing this week instead? This will just confirm bias both ways.
I said 40-10 for MSU
at home.
At home, it probably would be 31-17 OSU.
If it was at Michigan.
31.
17 points against Ohio State's defense.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how Michigan's scoring more points than us.
They have
I think Michigan would hold him. Do they have a better offense because of what we saw? What we're about to get into?
Well, 7 of your points were against it. Were a pick 6.
Well, I mean, it's a team effort, right? They could get a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, I think your defense is
for
better,
Michigan
for sure. I just don't know how your offense would be considered better than ours.
I mean, if you score under 20 in college football, no one's really winning. Okay, 17 versus 10 is not some like crazy wow, you're better offense.
You just said Michigan's offense was better than Michigan State's offense.
You know what? Football.
Arrest me. I think Michigan's better than Michigan State. Okay, if that's what this whole conversation is about. Offense. Take me to jail.
Is there
with 4 minutes left in the game?
Yes, I'd rather have Michigan's because that's the style of football I like. I do not like interceptions. I hate them.
We all hate them. No one likes interceptions unless you're getting.
I would rather run and just have a terrible feeling on 3rd and 5 or longer than throw picks.
But Davis Warren was throwing picks.
Yeah, that's my point. That's why I was fully on board for Alex Orji because I just don't want to throw picks or fumble.
Anyways, let's talk about Michigan, I guess.
Michigan, USC. Game of the day. Great football game. Any questions?
Yeah, let's just get it out because that's.
I have a question.
The bias. Michigan State people are thinking it. The Ohio State people are thinking it. So we'll just have you nip it in the butt. Is USC just not ready for Big Ten football? Saw what LSU did against UCLA, UCLA's bad. LSU struggled with that. USC beat LSU. That was supposed to be the big signature win. Is USC actually deserving of being the 11th team in the country at that time? Do we actually think they're good? Or, like, I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
I think USC is good. I saw it happening from a mile away. As a Michigan fan,
yeah, you knew it was coming.
I might come off as in the next 3 minutes. I'm just going to fully preface that. But I just, like, it does irk me sometimes. This was, like, you guys, I would hope would be the same way. Like, feel yourself this week because this is what college football is about. Your team's dead. They got embarrassed by Texas. People are picking them to lose by 20 points in this game. They can't throw the ball, which is fair. They actually can't. But the fact that this team gritted this out,
really can.
32 passing yards, whatever. The fact that they sacked up as a bunch of 18 and 22-year-olds and had some pride and beat USC, who I do think is a good football team, and in a weird way actually impressed me more that it didn't lay down and die after their pitiful first half and came back and stopped the run for the second half. That was pretty impressive. Miller Moss is a Sunday quarterback. I don't know if he's a starter by any means, but he should be drafted, and actually could see him doing okay. He had some killer throws, and he also was under duress the entire game. Michigan's defensive line played disgusting. Josiah Stewart played absolutely out of his mind. He was the best player on the field for the whole game. 8 pressures, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for losses, and a forced fumble that should have been recovered but was given away to the running back.
Yep.
But as someone who's watched a team win the Big Ten championship 3 years in a row, and they don't play anyone until the back half of the season, I'm very used to nationally rival fan bases, watching a team lose to Michigan and immediately saying, well, they weren't that good to begin with, so you still played nobody. I'm used to that. It's like watching the same DVD over and over again, rinse and repeat. So I knew it was happening. I saw it mid-game. Oh, USC still soft as shit. Okay, like, sure, they're not like Iowa's defense, right?
Are they soft as shit, though?
Their O-line got bullied pretty good, but Michigan's D-line is good, so...
To me, watching the game, I thought USC did exert a level of physicality that, like, again, they impressed me in a loss. I don't think any less of them. Again, it was a 3-score game. If you told me USC is still alive to win the Big Ten, I would say yes. Well, could they finish better than Michigan in the Big Ten standings? Absolutely still after this game. Like, I still think they're a very good football team with a good quarterback and good skill players. So I think they're very good. I knew it was going to happen, but I chose in my mindset that I would not look. Again, it could be bias. Michigan could still end up not being great, but I'm going to give them credit for being the winning team against a good USC as opposed to being like, oh, USC sucks.
I think you said that well. Didn't sound too asshole-ish to me.
I'm on Grant's side. USC isn't...
I don't think
USC showed like that they're bad.
I don't think that either.
They held Michigan to 9 yards going into the last drive. 9. USC is one. They tackle Mullins for a first down there. USC probably wins the game because the clock is still running and Michigan can't throw the ball.
What hurt USC?
Literally,
I think
Hail Mary throw. Michigan's last hope was literally what exactly happened. Was Mullins breaking a long run? Exactly what happened.
I think what hurt USC is that they got punched in the mouth right in the beginning of the game and just had no answer of what to do, and it took too long for them to figure it out.
That's true. Michigan was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, Michigan came out like they ass on fire, needed to win a football game. And credit to them, they did. They showed up the way I did not expect them to. And they actually proved that, they still cared and they were not going to give up on the season, which is good, which is what you want to see as a fan. I think if USC and Michigan played again, I would like USC's chances better. But got to credit Michigan. They won the football game and they deserve to win. Like, I don't think USC got hosed on calls or anything. Like, I've seen some people bitching about that, saying Michigan shouldn't have even been in the game, blah, 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 whatever. Michigan won, deserved to win. It was impressive. I was impressed that they had that in them, and they deserve their flowers. So,
thanks, Alex. Number 83 on our team did hold on the last play, but I will not apologize for that. So you can USC fans. That was that play. I could just watch that play on loop. It was so good. Max Bredesen, fullback for Michigan. I talked about him in the preseason show that he was like, if you had to do underrated, most valuable player on offense, he's like one of the best blockers I've ever seen play college football, and he's one of the toughest players I've ever seen. So if you want to know where the football is going in Michigan's offense, you just look at number 44.
Didn't he get unsportsmanlike conduct against Alabama like right away?
Yeah, he blew Caleb Downs into the turf, and then he was staying over him and then jumped on him with his helmet.
Yeah.
And then got a 15-yarder.
Yeah,
He's a psychopath. He's an absolute psychopath.
You need a guy like that.
He probably will get a 15-yarder in one of the games coming up. That will suck, but like that's who he is.
I do fear that Michigan State has nobody to block your defensive line. It could be just absolute hell for Aiden Childs that day.
Josiah Stewart looked like
Yeah,
Sunday
just
rusher.
One
Oh
move,
my
Alex. It's
God.
everything. Rush upfield and jump inside. Rush upfield.
Can you
jump
name
inside.
our left tackle, Evan?
Yeah,
Brocious.
it's
No, Graham.
Newman's our left guard. Miller.
Newman.
Left
Phillips is
tackle.
gone.
Evan. Come on,
Brocious.
you know this.
He's the freshman. Stanton,
Rich.
freshman, redshirt freshman, Stanton,
Redshirt freshman.
Ramai.
Stanton Rammel.
Told you.
Yep. He's a really highly touted prospect, but he's played 3 games. Could be tough.
It was kind of funny. I was doing.
That's different because Alex, we're in 2 tight end sets with a fullback.
I know,
USC's
I'm just
not
saying,
having 2
Michigan's
tight
D
ends.
line is good. You're gonna
Yeah,
get a
we
really
knew
good
that.
matchup with Tanner Miller and Mason Graham.
And Kenneth Grant. Well, besides his giveaway, but in terms of offense, similar to the Lions, I think I kind of jarred Evan a little bit when I said I think this team should be an 80-20 run split team. They actually did that. I looked at the stats today. There was 58 plays in this game. There was 46 runs and 12 passes. They did it. They did the 80, which is 79%. 79% run. They actually did it.
What's the time
Khalil
of possession?
Mullins. It was actually pretty dead even because USC just held it a lot in the second half. They had a lot.
I figured
We
USC
kept-
would have the lead, but I guess Michigan's first half probably helped them. Their second half did not help them.
Bungles
Yeah,
or
100%.
dash?
It
I
didn't
would.
have a first down until the last drive. Like I don't know what people are getting about how USC is. USC was literally 1 tackle away from winning that game. Obviously, they could have stopped him on 4th down, but it's 4th and goal and
Who do
inches.
you think should have won that game?
USC should have won that game.
I see it as Michigan.
I think Michigan earned it.
I think on the national perspective,
You don't get
I think
a first down in the second half. You don't deserve to win a football game.
yeah. Well, here's the biggest part that we'll learn going forward is that I saw a lot of. This is one of those games where you listen to every college football show that you remotely care about because you want to hear people talk about your team win a big game.
Joe
Guilty.
Klatt just
No, I don't listen to the Joe Klatt show because it bores me because it's just him talking to himself. I listen to like Cover 3, Josh Pate. He actually entertains me. I do listen to Unnecessary Roughness sometimes because the one dude on there is kind of funny. Anyways, from a national perspective, you saw a lot of like, oh, Michigan's screwed going forward because USC figured out how to play them in the second half, which sure, but like they started stacking the box in the first half. The reason that Michigan, it pissed me off because I kept watching the second half. I'm like, they're just not giving the best player on the offense the ball. Khalil Mullins had like 2 carries until the last drive. It's like I don't, and I hopefully.
well, if you go
Jerome
3 now,
Moore said-
3 now, 3 now, it's hard to give carries to somebody. Well, who's your running backs coach?
Tony Alford.
Well, I asked
Ohio
this
State
question
coach.
in the game because I thought it was coaching
It was
malpractice.
very clear to like a diehard Michigan fan or someone who's like invested in the team every snap that sees it all. From an outsider's perspective, you say, oh, Michigan finally ran to a wall. USC figured out how to play them. Like, no, USC was stacking the box starting like midway through the first quarter, second quarter. It's just they went away from Khalil Mullins for like the entire third quarter, which made no sense to anybody that is like following this team. Like 17 carries, 159 yards, 9 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. And they're like, you know what? We're going to give you 2 carries throughout the third quarter into the fourth quarter. We're just going to let Orji run it and Donovan Edwards fumble on inside his own red zone. It's just like, they could have iced that game away. They could have distanced themselves. I fully believe that. Even if stacking the box, I think they could have pulled away and at least got another field goal or potentially touchdown if they gave him 10 carries in the beginning of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. But they just didn't. And that was making me sick as a fan. I'm like, they're not. Like, it's just coaching stupidity.
Yeah, the one
like-
long run's going to inflate his stats for 60 yards. I get that. The average goes up.
Yeah, but even like, it's kind of like,
He still
I don't
had
know
100 yards at
he
that point.
he runs like David
I
Montgomery.
get
He gets
that.
hit in the backfield and he gets 3 yards. It's a nuts. Like he turns negative plays into at least 2 yards, and then he turns a 4th and 3 that you get stuffed on, or a 3rd and 3 gets stuffed on.
Well,
He
there's not going to
falls
be a game
forward
where
for the first
Donovan
down.
doesn't get a handoff.
Correct.
Yeah.
It just has to be.
It's not going
and
to be
I'm
bell
hoping.
cow. It could be
I'm
Blake
hoping
Corum.
I'm hoping the press conference is true. Sharon Moore didn't really dance around it. He used some language. He was like, yeah, it looked like Khalil could and should get most of the carries going forward. And he goes, so that's a conversation we'll have with the team. And I'm like, well, yeah, I need to see it because like he should be getting 70-30. Like he needs to get the rock 25 to 30 times a game if they're going to try to play this way. Because
Donovan Edwards can transfer. Only played in 4 games this year.
Again, I'm not saying don't use it.
Really
Donovan Edwards had a crucial touchdown in the game. He actually made a nice cut on that play. The play was supposed to go right. He cut back left, so that was good to see. But he needs to be utilized.
That was a better option.
The more I watched, Alex said he needs to be used as a slot receiver type or some sort of gadget player, like a Giles Jackson, AJ Henning in this offense. Like you can't give him 15 carries a game. I don't think.
The blueprint to beat Michigan was the same thing I said already. You have to lead early. You have to take the lead on Michigan. If Michigan gets the lead, then you're in big trouble because they can just run the ball, milk clock, and play defense.
And the defense is that good. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you fall behind Michigan, that's when you get into this like disaster crisis mode where you're throwing 50 times and you force a pick 6 and you're getting beaten down the whole game. So that's how Michigan can win. Get a lead early, and they did exactly that.
I still think Lincoln Riley's idiotic for trying to throw a running back pass at the end of the first half.
His play calls were weird towards the end too.
Yeah.
And honestly, for
Michigan goes down though in a football game, like I'm not sure what they're going to do
this game. They did.
Yeah, we saw.
You know what they did, Alex?
USC missed the tackle.
Beautiful.
And they got a 60-yard touchdown or 6-yard run.
Just saying it out loud is so insane that we watched it live. 4 minutes to go on your own 11-yard line. You go 10 plays, 89 yards, 8 rushes, 2 passes, and you somehow pull it off with like 2 timeouts in your back pocket to score on 4th and goal from the 1.
It still took every ounce of ability they had to score that.
It's one of the craziest drives I think I've ever seen.
I just don't know how Michigan, when losing, can rely on that every week. Like that's just not. They can't go down because. Yes, we saw it happen. Like, that's unrealistic to think that can continue to go on.
Yeah, but the level of quarterback play they're going to play besides two or three of their games is going to go significantly down.
Yeah. I mean, who's the next tough game you play? Oregon at home? What's your...
Yeah.
When do you play them?
I don't know.
First weekend in November.
We're right now, we're not like last year. We're a 1-game season. We got to beat Minnesota.
That's easy. You won. Yeah. You already won.
You play the same style of shit offense, and you're
if it's coming from Evan, TJ Flack.
You already won.
Got to give props. He got made fun of a lot against Texas, but like all things considered, Wink Martindale had a fantastic game. They blew some coverages. He dialed up a sack for Makari Page, senior safety, who absolutely whiffed on a sack against Miller Moss that led to one of their scores. So it's not Wink's fault. And Dono fumbles, gives them a touchdown. Kenneth Grant gets a strip sack, fumbles, they get a touchdown. The defense was put in terrible spots all game long. They had to be dead by the end of that second half. And I thought Wink played a fantastic game against Lincoln Riley. So that was huge bounce back.
The one just absolute blown coverage was terrible. But I mean, you didn't have a guy in the vicinity.
Not in the huddle. I'm going to go on a limb and say that was not the design of the play.
I was just blown away. When they showed the replay, I was like, I can't believe how open this dude was.
Yeah.
There's just no one
I'm going to hope that's not the design on the chalkboard.
There's just nobody even over there.
Besides a couple blunders like that.
Are you worried about wear and tear for this defense if they have to play like that every week?
Am I worried about wear and tear? No, I can't say I've thought about it until you just asked the question.
Well, college football teams tend to wear down. Depth is not great, and people get injured. So it is a question I think is fair.
One game at a time until we get there.
You got to have superhero performances from your defense every week to win football games.
Without their best skill player, too. So that was huge to see. I thought when Loveland was out, officially ruled out, that was going to be even worse. But I think it'll help going forward because that's going to have to be their pass offenses like dink and dunks that are 5 to 10 yards down the field. Shout out to Jair Hill, the cornerback who gets picked on a lot. He had a great bounce back game. Obviously, Will Johnson, best cornerback in the country, just stud, just wins games. Like Jack Fox, Tommy Doman, huge day as a punter. We can't forget the punters. He had 8 punts on the day, 4 inside the 20. I think every time I looked up at the TV in the first quarter or first half, like USC was inside their own 5 starting their drives, which was huge for us. And then that's pretty much all the in-game stuff. I want to see more Frederick Moore as a receiver. I think he's got a good look to him. Like he looks the most explosive of the bunch, so I need more of him.
Don't
Other than
have
that,
a pass game. You're not gonna.
that was one of my big questions. Is in my mind, how serviceable can Orji get as he grows as a player? Because again, it's his first ever college start, playing a top 10 team as an underdog at home. He's the quarterback. They win the game. Obviously, stat line low.
Low is an understatement for a quarterback.
All-time low. And people are going to make jokes, which is fine to do. But like listening to Nestler and Danielson talk, I've agreed with them watching the spring game. I don't think anything is like wrong with the way he throws the football. Like he doesn't.
They not like said on the broadcast he has Andrew Maxwell disease.
He's not. Yeah, he has to work on touch. But there's routes that if you can hopefully work with the kid over the course of a season, because they're allowed to get better. Scheme up plays where it actually benefits.
No, they're not, Grant.
Here's my question:
kids don't improve, actually.
Well, that's what I'm trying to.
There is no process in college football anymore. I said this earlier.
Right. He will. That's my question: is like, do we think he can throw for 125 yards in a game, or are people just going to say he can never do that?
It is such a low bar to say out loud. Can he throw for 125 yards in a game? Yes, he can.
Yards? No.
But there's a lot of people
yards,
I think that think he can't.
Well, passing yards, no, he cannot throw the ball 125 yards. Now, I'm not saying I'm saying like he throws a 2-yard out route and a dude misses a tackle and runs for 80. Yes, then he will get credited for an 80-yard completion.
I don't think if he doesn't get to that, I don't think it's all on him. I think teams can easily just load the box, play man, and your wide receivers get no separation. And there's nothing he can do anyways.
Yeah, there's got to be one or two that step up the hit, like 1 or 2 deep balls. Like there has to be that threat.
Like you don't have guys open either. Like he's not a great thrower of the football. I don't think I've barely seen him throw.
But you got no one open on him. You risk it.
But it's got to be where like you can run so much and suck a deep because defense, they're college kids. They're gonna bite on the fake. Like you have to give.
Not if you're in man. Only if you're in zone, you'll bite up. If you're in man to man, you're watching belly buttons.
Yeah, but they're kids too. They get peeking a little bit. They're like, "Ooh, I can get in there and make a play."
You get in there and make a play. Boom, not bomb. Next guy.
I mean, yeah, but we
realistically, Grant, you need a receiver to come out of nowhere, create separation, and get open. And I don't know if you have one on your team. Yeah, he's it, and it's pretty easy to just double cover.
And Fred Moore, I think Fred Moore can grow into something.
It needs to happen, and it needs to happen against the bad teams because when you play another good team, it's going to be tough. The blueprint is going to get more clear every week that people have more film on Orji playing football.
But until a team just shoves us in the face and we can't run the ball,
this was week 1 of this experiment. It works.
Yeah, I know against a top 12 team at the time,
and now it's on film.
I still think they're really good.
And now people are.
It was already going to be on film. Everyone knows what we're going to do.
Yeah, but now
80-20
coaches can look at it and do exactly what we just said. Force a Michigan receiver to get open. We'll see if they can do it.
I just think it's giving a lot of credit to like middle of the Big Ten like defensive lines that aren't that good.
Middle of the Big Ten defensive lines, your Minnesotas and Iowas are actually like that's the only thing they're good at.
Minnesota's not. I already looked at their stats.
I don't know about that. But just generally, like Illinois, their D line's pretty solid.
Illinois is a problem. They're not. They're a different. They're good. They're not middle of the Big Ten.
They're middle Big Ten program.
No, not this year. They're good.
Program is not a year by year thing. Program is like an over a decade kind of thing.
Well, I'm not living in a 3 year. So I'm talking about winning game by game because I'm not giving up on the season.
I think there's going to be teams that you play that are not good that have a better front seven than USC.
Sure.
I think USC's linebackers were good. I think USC's front four maybe not as good. So not the full front seven, maybe just the front four. But there's going to be some good like Big Ten teams that can muck it up with you and make it like the way you play. You're probably going to be in some close games with some bad teams that you'll probably win, but you'll be in a close game.
Yeah,
That's what the spread predicts for this game.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
It's going to be gross and not pretty. Exactly what you want.
Yeah, and I think they can pull those out. It's really I'm looking ahead. Again, we said from the jump after Texas, it's not a national title team. Okay,
no,
when we talk about the
0% chance of that.
We're not talking about that because teams that do that, they have to play both sides of the ball. They have to have multidimensional. They have to be deep. But we're not giving up on the playoffs. At least I'm not. The playoff path for Michigan is still there. And that's why I'm going to take game by game, not look too far ahead. I was looking to see what Vegas thinks
It's not a hot
about.
take, though.
I mean, I think a lot of people.
You have one loss, and it's to the number one team in the country. Of course, your season's not over. Michigan State's playoff picture isn't over either. That's how dumb it is. You've lost one game.
Again, it's national people. We get our bubble. A lot of people are like, yeah, Michigan's like, even after this win, they're like, oh, that's surprising, but I still think they're like 8-4.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Which is fine. But if you believe that, then they're not a playoff team. I think they can be 10-2 still.
Thinking and believing and actually predicting it is different.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
Tell me right now, are they going 10-2? Yes.
I might sprinkle actual money, which is I count as like if you do that, you actually think something can happen. They're 24th in playoff odds right now, which I think is a little value. They're plus 600 to make the playoffs.
Because that schedule is not getting easier.
To me, I feel like there's some value there because one, I don't think there's 23 teams in
Indiana
the
might
country.
pounce all over you guys with their high flying offense.
I don't think so. Maybe though.
I mean, come on, you have to gas them up. That's your thing.
It depends if like where Michigan's at in their season. If they've lost their second game already, sure. But if they're still like one game at a time, trying to get to Ohio State with only one loss, so if they lose that, they can backdoor in. I think they can hopefully.
Yes
push.
or no, Grant? They're winning 10 football games.
Yeah, I might put like $5 to $10 on that.
Yes,
plus 600.
That was a yes.
That's if I'm putting money that I work for on plus 600.
Games?
No.
Okay. No.
Alex,
I'm gonna go no.
I stand by my 8-4.
I still think like 8-4, 9-3. I think winning that game was big for 9-3.
So big. Huge win.
Still can't.
Because then it really could spiral because then people are questioning Sharon Moore. They're questioning everything, which people could still be fair to do. But like that's a huge win. That goes a long way for a program.
I just have this weird feeling that Michigan's going to lose to a team that they're not supposed to. I just don't know why. But I've just thought that since preseason.
Well, the odds certainly go up now that they are one-dimensional on one side of the ball.
So you can get beat. I still think they could pull off and beat Oregon in some weird way, just like they did this week. But that's what I'm saying. But I think they could lose to Illinois, or Evan thinks they could lose to Michigan State.
Absolutely,
they could. They could. I'm not gonna. They could lose to any team on their schedule, pretty much, besides Northwestern,
Minnesota.
Yeah. Northwestern should have been in the Dookie segment for their 5 points this week.
If Minnesota didn't just give up 272 yards to Iowa on the ground, I would feel worse about it.
Minnesota.
I don't think they're going to score much against us.
The game's going to be 10-0.
I had a stupid thought. I ran it by the Michigan fans today. They said they didn't call me dumb, but I said you guys can call me dumb if you want. I was thinking, could we flip the whole 2 QB system and just have a 3rd and long specialist come in to throw the football to try to help us?
Do you trust Davis Warren to throw the ball on 3rd and long?
Well, ideally, in my hypothetical, I said I wish Jack Tuttle was healthy, but apparently Jack Tuttle may not be healthy the whole year. In an ideal world, it'd be Jack Tuttle would come in on 3rd and like 6 or longer. Since the defense already knows you're throwing, I think the concept could work. But everyone's like, no,
yeah, you're bringing a guy cold off the bench to throw a pass on 3rd down. I watched Michigan State bring in Connor Cook for one drive against Notre Dame and looked like absolute dog shit. And then they went right back to Maxwell.
Actually, Andrew Maxwell came in for the last championship drive.
Yeah, and then threw 4 bullets into some dude's kneecaps, and then that was it.
We put the national championship in Andrew Maxwell's hands. That's what happened.
Blew it. He blew it.
Pissed down his leg. And it was only the 3rd game of the year. We didn't know it, but that national championship was right then and there in Andrew Maxwell's hands.
Yeah, you can't bring in a quarterback to play 3rd down. That would never work.
Then it's orgy all the time then.
People would just sit back in a zone and you just probably throw picks or get sacked. Be pretty easy. And you don't have wideouts that it can get open.
Just freaking bring the house. I'll still stack the box. If they had a 3rd down throwing specialist, I'm still stacking the box. And
if Davis Warren is your 3rd down throwing specialist, I'm sending pressure in his face and he's throwing a pick. Maybe.
Still don't have wide receivers.
3rd and longs are just separation. Tough. I know. I need them to step it up.
Don't have a deep threat.
They need to turn the tide.
Nobody
Someone
has to
needs
play
to step
any
up
farther
in that
than
room.
10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. That is just a true statement.
It's honestly stunning that Michigan was able to do what they did and win with 32 yards.
I don't think it really is.
It is.
Well,
it is actually crazy.
Against an NFL
team.
quarterback, yes, that is crazy. But like this It's pretty hard to stop if your offensive line. The offensive line is good at run blocking. They're bad at pass pro. They are.
The second half. One play they didn't stop them.
Because of Dono.
One play.
So you're blaming Michigan struggles on one player for the whole year.
There was only one play in the second half that gave Michigan life. The rest of the half was just them playing defense. I just watched USC play offense the whole second half.
That's how it felt like.
They
had 0 first downs until the last drive.
Until the drive.
0.
It'd be like, who's your backup for K9?
Who was our backup? It was number 22.
Who was Holmes?
Number 22. I hung out with his dad at the bar in Northwestern. I wanted him to transfer
from Auburn. Oh, no, it was Jordan Simmons. It was Jordan Simmons. He's the worst running back I've ever seen in my life.
He scored a touchdown in the first game against Northwestern.
And let me be clear. Donovan Edwards I'm not trying to put him on that level. Like, he still is a serviceable player, but he's not.
I think Jordan Simmons is the backup at Akron right now.
So it'd be like if K9 was just having a great first half, and you're like, you know what, we're going to let Jordan Simmons take like the first 3 series of the third quarter.
Well,
like they iced the top 10 running back in the country
to K9. That's not fair. To K9.
No, but like if K9 was having a great game, like Mullins was having.
Could you imagine K9 on Michigan the last 4 years? Holy shit!
I mean, Kamalo Mullins he's not Kenneth Walker. Please do not start doing this. I'm just saying he's a top 10 running back in the country right now, and they're just like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna roll Donovan Edwards.
That's on your coaching staff, though, Grant, and those are the people in charge, and they could make those mistakes all year long.
That has to change. You have to leave because it's like the most obvious thing of all time. Like
we've always said it. Coaches do dumb shit.
Yeah. Well, if they keep doing it, they got to go.
Okay, you tell Santa or whatever his name is to tell Warren.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'll write a letter.
Warren doesn't work for the athletic department.
Khalil Mullins is the top 10 running back in the country. Donovan Edwards, great flashes, not playing like it right now. You got to ride the kid. This is going to be your system.
Really not playing like it ever unless it's the biggest game of their lives.
Again, not going to discredit him. He had like a 50-yard touchdown run in this game that was very crucial to the final score. So it's not like he had a terrible game. He's not having. Yeah, it was a great punch though.
Ball security is job security.
It was a great punch. It was a Fred Warner level punch, as Evan likes
I just don't know how sustainable it is. And I credited Michigan for the win, and I think they earned it. And blah blah blah. But we'll find out over a course of a season. Can you actually do that?
Yeah, nobody knows if it's sustainable. That's the fun part.
So far, I
find out every week.
I'm going to go no. But hell of a win.
It's awesome though. I hate throwing. I actually hate forward passes. It's just they make me so uncomfortable with this team. I just love when they hand it off.
JJ throwing the ball.
Well, yeah, he was special.
So JJ wasn't needed last year.
He's like the Vince McMahon meme where it's just like, no, he was because you have to win a title.
Yeah, at the end you need him, but like
even a Big Ten title. Like Iowa can't win the Big Ten because they don't have a quarterback.
You can't
win the Big Ten without a quarterback.
You're probably winning 11 games last year without JJ.
But you can make the playoff, especially in an expanded one. Iowa almost made the 14 playoff, and they never had a quarterback. They were one LJ Scott.
It's CJ Beathard.
Line play.
He's an NFL quarterback.
Still in the NFL.
CJ Beathard is better than any Michigan quarterback right now by a lot.
Yes.
By far.
CJ Beathard would be the second best QB in the last 10 years for Michigan.
Grant, you would wake up every single day happy that CJ Beathard's your quarterback.
Jake Rudock hung around the NFL for a little bit.
CJ Beathard is significantly better.
Joel Milton is on a roster.
Never forget the Lions fan that called in 97-1 saying Jake Rudock should start over Matthew Stafford.
Minnesota predictions, it's a 10-point spread. It's big noon kickoff. We get Joel and Gus.
28-0.
Over under though, get the over under 39.5. We are full Iowa territory.
Under
14-3.
Michigan actually might get that themselves.
14-3.
Alex, Minnesota's defense isn't that good.
No,
come on, dude. PJ always has good D. Oh, we took their defensive coordinator. Who am I kidding? That's why their defense is good.
Correct.
24-6.
We took their good defensive guy. So yeah,
28-0.
Oh, that's 20, what I was
shut out for Wink. Let's go.
27-3.
24-6.
Do you know where Minnesota's running back is from?
Oklahoma.
No. Darius Taylor he's from like Michigan. He went to high school.
Well, they have like 5 different running backs. He played at Davison. No, Davison went to Northwestern. That kid played at.
Well, I just remember that was back in my recruiting days, and Michigan State and Michigan didn't want it, so he went to Minnesota.
Minnesota also has a transfer running back from Oklahoma.
Interesting.
99th meeting for the Little Brown Jug, one of the most underrated rivalry trophies.
Probably the most
is-
overrated rivalry trophy.
I think
Evan, take it back.
I think I will do. Oh,
Both teams have to win for it to be a rivalry, Grant.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the trophy.
What are we
Trophy is a
doing,
spit
Chad?
bottle. No one cares about it.
It's cool. The double M's. I've always liked
The
it.
old brass bassoon, everyone can say it's stupid. It is stupid. Michigan State, Indiana
No.
play for a spit bottle. You guys play for a
Spittoon.
milk jug.
The old
Give a
brass
shit.
spittoon.
Kirk Signetti's going to look so sick holding that up this year.
Dude, do you want us to
How about them
openly
just-
dump on your team?
Yeah, you guys, you can.
I
And you
just
do.
I just praised your team for at least 5 minutes. That
With a lot of shots in there, which were valid. I agree with all of them.
fair shots that weren't even shots
For the
They were
most
just
part,
like,
I think.
is it sustainable? Probably not. We'll find out. That's a good
Sustainable?
Good podcast.
No.
I asked Evan if they could win 10 games, and he was an emphatic
But what
no.
if it is?
No, you can't win
What
10
if they just run
It's
over
not-
everybody?
I
Give me.
I fear
give me
that this
multiple-
could
give me,
be a really,
How
really
cool would
bad
that
thing
be?
for you. This game
Give me
could
at
be
least.
a really bad
Give me
thing
at least
for
5 examples of a team
Alex,
being
it
able to
cannot
do
be.
that and win
you.
10
No, it
games.
could. What that game could have been.
Iowa.
What that game could have been
Our schedules is tough.
was you
They win 10 games.
fully getting
Huh.
sucked into a vacuum and a belief after that game, and then turns out you're still ass cheeks, and then your team spirals, and then
Iowa
I'll be
hasn't
like-
won 10 games with a bad offense like that.
5 years
They
from
did
now,
last. They
you'll be like,
was their
"Damn."
offense good last year?
No,
No.
they fired he fired his
Grant,
son
they
last
haven't
year.
scored like over 20 points a game in like 8 years since they.
Spoiler alert, they won 10 games last year. I don't know what to tell you. With Deacon Hill.
Okay, give me
So,
5
it-
examples. You've given me one. You
it
said
can
Iowa.
happen.
I said 5.
Okay, let me go deep in their seasons.
Nope, we're not.
Ooh,
You
can
can
just
pick
be
Iowa
Iowa.
once. That means you've.
That's all I said was Iowa.
So that's
the only
one
comp.
example. That's
Grant,
one
do you
example.
truly believe that they can be that and they're going to win 10 games with that, what we saw on Saturday? Because you just
Grant,
can't
give me 5
realistically
different
think
teams.
that.
It's the Howard Mann-
2021, they did it.
No,
so that's
Grant,
second.
that's one because you said Iowa. That's one. That's Iowa.
I don't need. If I said 5 teams, I was lying. I meant 5 occurrences.
Who was
No,
their
Like,
team?
I just
in-
want to be
Who
Iowa.
was their
Iowa.
quarterback in 2021?
Nate Stanley.
Petras and Padilla. They must have done a QB change.
Oh,
Spencer Petras. He's good.
And Padilla. Yeah, he really lit up against Wisconsin for 93 yards. No, I think Orgy will get a little bit better as people do when they play football games. They should get better.
People do not go through a process.
Well, if that's what you believe, I'm sorry.
Tommy
Alex.
Schuster needs to play now.
up.
I live my life glass half full, and I think they can just smash, as my head coach says, over people.
If they lose to Minnesota this week, are we out?
That's be pretty low. It's only a 10-point spread, though. But yeah, you can't lose in Minnesota.
God.
Yes. Yeah, if they lose in Minnesota, the playoffs are done.
Exact like recipe of like how this could go. You can beat a bunch of teams and you can lose to a bunch of teams.
Can I
And
ask you
then-
a question?
That'd be a good. That'd be a good flip.
They still have a lot of NFL players on their team. But
Yeah.
I think do
You
care.
shouldn't lose. You shouldn't lose. You have no
Can I
business
ask you a
losing.
question?
Yeah.
Has Michigan played a road game yet?
No, they don't leave Ann Arbor for years. They probably
Not
don't
yet.
even
Damn
leave
it.
Ann Arbor this season. Do they? Do they
Road
leave
games
Ann
are
Arbor this
overrated.
season?
You should play. If
We've
you
already
can,
played
you should play.
2 road games in our first 4 weeks.
That's bad scheduling. That's bad AD.
That's
The
actually
Big Ten
we don't
chooses.
get to schedule the Big Ten schedule. for the Maryland game.
I'm well, the schedule bullshit has always annoyed me. Like, why would you not want to play your big games at home?
Well, of course we want
Sorry.
to. We don't get to choose.
Sorry.
We
You
don't
just-
get to choose the Big Ten.
The Blue Wall loves giving
Yes.
It's
Home
not the
games.
Big Ten. It's just
you
like
the Big Ten
that
schedule
rotates
makers.
every year.
No.
it rotates every year.
people.
Miraculously
There's-
get 8 home games.
There's people that decide that. It's not a
Well,
computer.
Now it's different. But previous years, when the East, it was every other year you rotated
Yeah.
who you played home and away.
This year, it was they handcrafted your schedule and give you all your big games at home.
Look, if I was advising ADs, I would say don't go play big time non-conference away games. There's no point. Play them at home.
In the 12 play
Play tomato cans.
12
Well, until
game
you had to play
playoff
Texas
era.
and
Yes.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, we ran into that. That wasn't great. I wish we didn't play Texas. What did we gain from playing Texas? Nothing.
I agree. Michigan State should not have played Boston College in the red
Actually,
bandana game.
false, Grant.
Yes.
You would have had Davis Warren play USC and you would have lost that game.
Yeah.
That was actually a great spin zone.
Yeah, you needed that
I
game.
concede that one. That was huge. Needed that. You should go as undefeated as long as you can.
It is ridiculous, your schedule. You get every good team at home.
Yeah, Ohio State.
What is your first
away,
road
Alex?
game?
At Washington, first weekend of October.
Yeah, night game. Well, it'll be 4:30 there.
Could lose that game.
Yeah, and you could lose this week as well.
We
are
lot.
losing this game.
I'm going to start lashing out at
We are losing this week. Breaking news, man. We are losing to Ohio State and Oregon.
We're an over 3 touchdown underdog. No shit. Thank you.
Alex is going to be watching. You're going to have Bama at Georgia on your big screen by halftime.
We'll be 3-3 going into October 12th.
We're going to take Ohio State deep into the third. It's funny, but like when it happens, I want you begging me for mercy.
Christ. Marshall's only down 2 scores at halftime. Why can't we be down 2 scores at halftime?
We're better than Marshall. Are you kidding me?
No.
That's a lie. That's absurd.
Well, ski
It's kind of fun to do that. It's fun to do the troll bit. All right. Cheers to 183.
Cheers.
Maybe.
100%.
Well, actually, next time we do this podcast, the Tigers could be in the playoffs.